a bit of a sort of, cushy, expense-ridden, bloated, underperforming, indolent and rather inefficient ex-newspaper executive who fell into radio because there was nothing else for you to do.
OK, can you shut up now?
No.
If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just the two mics flicking through tomorrow's papers.
What are you doing in my shrubbery, you dirty little...
Nocturnal stirrings from the night garden of sporting news with Mike Ninky Nonk Graham and Mike Pinky Ponk Parry on Talk Sport. If you're up with a baby, you'll get it.
Look at the light!
I don't think I remember ever saying the word Peloton. This is Talk Sport. It's Christmas Day. A very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody, and especially to my broadcasting partner here, Mr. Mike Porky Parry. A very Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Parry.
And a very Merry Christmas to you, Mike. I have to say, we should be full of the spirit of the festive season.
And we are
should
indeed.
be bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
Within a few hours, we'll be in the bosom of our families, enjoying a sparkling Christmas day.
Yeah.
Perhaps a little tincture before lunch and then heading to the traditional Christmas lunch.
Yep.
Turkey in my household. What about yours?
Chicken for us.
Chicken for you.
Yep.
Very good. That's excellent. And let peace and joy circle the world.
Goodwill to all men.
Goodwill to all men.
And indeed women.
And women.
As long as they're not in jobs which are too well paid and not too powerful.
What?
I was just saying, because that's presumably what you'd like to add at the end.
It is not, and how dare you besmirch my character. It's Christmas Day.
You don't like women to be too powerful.
It's Christmas Day, and you still can't give it up.
What do you mean not give it up?
Yeah, what do you think about these? Got a new pair of glasses.
Oh, those are lovely. Very nice. Christmas
Yeah.
pudding glasses. Actually, they make you look like Roy Wood or somebody.
Yeah, they certainly do.
I'll have to take a picture of those.
Well, anyway, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Are they sunglasses? Are they sort of shades?
I tell you what, leave it for a minute, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge you to a snowball fight.
Oh, are you?
After the first break, which comes up in a few minutes,
Oh,
okay? And
well, who's going to be the referee?
Well, the referee will be...
We have the executive producer.
Executive producer, Mr. Levine. And you see, what I've got here, actually, it's very unusual. Oh,
yeah,
look,
you've just dropped one.
I've dropped one. I've dropped another one. I've got indoor snowballs.
Is it a bag of white snowballs?
Yeah, it's a bag of...
How many are there?
1, 2, 3, 4 for me.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm knocking all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4 for you.
Okay.
That's 4 there. Another 2 for me.
They look a bit like those sort of bobbles, the tassels you
Another
put on
2 for you.
slippers, aren't they?
They do a bit, and another one each.
They feel quite nice.
So, how many have we got each?
I've got 7.
7 snowballs each. So we're going to have a snowball fight at the start of the next
Right, well,
part
how do
of
we
the show.
determine who wins, though?
Well, the executive producer will be the adjudicator.
I guess it'll be however many direct hits on the face you get.
It will be that, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're going to film that and then put it out on... What are we going to put it out on?
2 Mics TV.
2 Mics TV.
But we'll put it on Twitter as well.
And Twitter.
And we'll put it on Facebook.
And Facebook.
Why not? We'll do the whole lot.
Because it's a night of merriment, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So how did your day go? How did your Christmas Eve go?
Actually, my day was quite quiet because I had one of those days where I couldn't sleep terribly. I've been having an extra cup of tea at around about sort of 4 o'clock, just after you go.
Yes.
And by the way, the good news for me tonight is that I get to work the same minimal number of hours as you work.
That's right, yeah.
I get to go home at the same time as you.
Good man. So who
I don't know.
And then
I don't care.
The other guys pick
I'm
up.
not interested.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know who's coming on after that. But anyway, so I'll be going home at 4 o'clock. So I got home and I had something to eat. And I sort of tried to go to bed, but I just kept waking up.
Yes.
So then I just got up about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I went out and did a few last-minute bits and pieces of shopping, picked up some dry cleaning, because I'm thinking I might wear a suit tomorrow for Christmas Day in a nice, pressed shirt.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Which is no bad thing.
Sounds good.
And then, just did a bit of sort of messing about, paid some tax.
Yes.
Which always makes me feel good when I pay tax.
Oh, yeah, sure, It makes me feel good.
Just makes you feel really pleased that you're contributing to the general well-being of the nation.
Yeah, that's right. Give it to
Mr.
Cameron, then he can spend another £11.8 billion on overseas aid.
No.
Scrap another aircraft carrier.
No.
Scrap another aircraft carrier.
No, I think, I'm very happy to pay tax.
Pump up the welfare state again.
Yeah, no, it always makes me feel good when I pay tax.
Spend billions on things that don't need billions spent on.
Yeah, but at this time of year, it's nice to think about those who are less fortunate than yourself.
Right, well, I did a good deed.
Well, hang on, I haven't finished my day yet.
Oh, do you think anybody's interested?
Well, then finally, I watched a couple of episodes of The Bridge, which I had to catch up on, because that's a show I've been watching, which finally came to a very dramatic end.
Okay.
Fantastic show, right? And, look, some more mince pies have been brought in for the festive...
I don't want you eating any more mince pies.
Some mince pies, some chocolates. By the way, there's a couple of presents that have come in for us, which I'm going to open on the air.
What are they?
Would you like me to open this one here first?
Oh, yes, please.
This is one that's come in... it's a very nice card as well.
Oh, yeah?
It says Season's Greetings.
Oh, let's have a look.
And it's... Oh, do you want to read it out?
Yeah.
There you go.
Great, yeah. Right, here we go. Season's Greetings on the front. A little diagram inside showing us as stick insects. Well, that's appropriate in my case, but not in old MG's. And it says... To Old MG and Mike Parry, please continue excellent two Mike shows in 2016. We don't like reading these out, to be honest. We don't like bigging ourselves up.
Well, I thought you did.
If people
insist, you did like reading them out.
And Old MG, please don't overdo the bladderation thing over Christmas. They've got you measured. Eh?
Well, that's ridiculous.
And this says from the Twitter user who helped you with the wibbly wobbly pub solution.
Oh, yeah.
And his name is Aaron Rutter, by the look of it, 95.
Aaron, you mean?
Aaron Rutter, 95.
Well,
and
there's a couple of gifts in here. So
it says, enjoy your crimbo, guys.
Yeah.
And it says, it's got these stick insect diagrams. Me, very bright and
You're hopeless at describing it.
hang on, optimistic, and you going moan, 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 moan. And all I want to say
he's got that round the wrong way. You're the one that moans all the time.
I'm not. No, the Wibbly Wobbly pub, by the way, is a.
No, but he's the one that told me where it was.
Yeah, have you found it yet?
I haven't found it.
It's the boat pub in Surrey Quays. It floats on
I haven't
water.
found it. Well, you'll have to come down one time and we'll go there.
Yeah, it does actually rock as you're on it, having a few sherbets. You never know how much you've had to drink.
Do you want to see what the present is?
Yes, please.
Turkish Delight. That'll be for you.
Fries, Turkish
And fruit nut.
delight.
Fruit nut will be for me.
Well, that's rather nice, isn't it?
Now,
Well,
are you going to eat that, or are you going
thank
to tell me you're worried it might be poisoned?
Well, what always worries me a little bit is that people, when they want to kill you, can be devious. And
Why would anyone possibly want to kill you?
well, I don't know. So sometimes people do. And although Aaron Rutter 95 seems like an extremely decent chap.
I know that he's trying to kill you. I'm pretty sure he's not.
How do you know somebody didn't go to him, who was an agent for a foreign power, and said look,
Well, it wouldn't be the Russians, would it? Because you love the Russians, and you've made it very clear that you're very much on their side.
do the Russians love their children
Oh, for God's sake.
That was Sting, by the way.
Yeah. I thought we were doing Christmas songs.
No, a foreign power who might have come and said, "Oh, hi, Aaron Rutter 95. We understand you're a big fan of the two mics.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Hello, Aaron.
I tell you what, we are philanthropists and we hand out free bars of chocolate to people who want to give them away at Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And we understand that Porky Quiz guy likes a bit of Fries Turkish Delight. And we happen to have one here. Here we are. And they give it to Aaron Rutter 95.
Aaron.
But what they haven't told him is, underneath the seam at the back of the bar of Chocky, they've actually injected it with strychnine.
Well, haven't you checked out whether there's any pink?
Well,
tiny,
the problem is a hypothermic hypothermic. I was going to say hypothetic. A hypothermic needle is so tiny that you wouldn't be able to see. You wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah, but surely if you hold it up to the light, you could see if there's any light shining through it.
Well, no, it doesn't shine through because it's on the back of the chocolate bar, so the light would have to come through the chocolate bar.
Do you mean a hypodermic needle?
Hypodermic. What did I say?
You said hypothermic.
Yeah, sorry, hypodermic.
Which is one that works on temperature.
That's right, it is,
Control.
yeah. So, it's very, very... I'll tell you what I think I'll do is...
Yeah, why don't you just eat it? Shut up.
No, I'll give it to a member of the family tomorrow and get them to have the first bite.
Yeah.
And if everything's okay...
It's like Henry VIII, you can just have a load of tasters.
Yeah, that's right, yeah,
Well, I might eat the fruit nut during the show.
Okay.
So if I suddenly die of some kind of strychnine poisoning, you'll have to carry on your own.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, that's all right.
Anyway, so then I had a pretty good sleep later on, and I was kind of battling the urge to have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
But then I thought, the trouble with that is if you have too many glasses of wine,
I totally agree.
Then you can't drive into work.
Oh, I totally agree.
And then all hell breaks loose because I wanted to drive in and drive home. And I'm so pleased at how quiet it is. It's fantastically
amazingly,
quiet.
I've not
fantastically quiet
on
the roads.
It is quiet.
I mean, there's absolutely no traffic jams at all.
Amazingly, I haven't had a drink now since last Friday.
Friday?
Yeah, it's a whole week.
No, I don't believe you.
Well, that's true.
I don't believe you.
I don't care whether you believe me or not.
I don't believe you.
It's absolutely true.
Well, that's why I said grumpy then.
Now, my good deed for today.
Yeah, go on.
Took the brand new spanking Merc off to the car wash to get it cleaned, right?
Oh, yeah. Did you tell them to leave their filthy rags on the outside, not on the inside?
Yes, I did, yeah. So I get there, and again, it's a group of East Europeans.
Yeah.
They're very, very good at what they do, these guys. I don't know what we do without them now for cleaning cars. And they set up a network of them. So I go to this place in a town called Banstead, which is a lovely sort of little town in Surrey.
It's quite a big place now, isn't it?
Banstead's not, no.
Yeah, but it's part of the kind of London conurbation now, isn't it?
It's just one main street with all sort of quaint shops in it and all that kind of stuff.
I must be thinking of somewhere else.
And I said, OK, chappie, can you...
Chappie?
Well, that sort of
thing.
Is
that his name?
No. Can you clean my car while I go off and do a bit of shopping? And he said, yes, no problem at all. I offered to pay him up front, because I always do, because I like to give them a load of dosh so they know I'm a good guy and they do a proper job.
Yeah.
See what I mean? He said, no. I said, no, let me pay you up front. How much is it? He said, £8.
£8?
£8, yeah. And I said, well, let me pay you now. I'll give you £15.
Right.
No.
Why do you want to give him 15?
I want a good job done. I want the wheels done
Yeah, but that's nearly
sparklingly.
twice as much.
Yeah, anyway, so I came...
What do you mean anyway? That's nearly twice as much. I mean, you can understand giving me a tenner.
I came back.
Yeah.
No, a tenner's only £2 on 8. That's 25%.
Well, that's a tip. 25% is a decent tip.
It's Christmas. Anyway, I came back, and boss man came over and said, "Oh, we have done your car. It is sparkling, and thank you very much." I said, "Great, I like it." I gave him 20.
20.
I gave him 20.
And the original price was
£8.
£8.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's Christmas
That's
Eve.
ridiculous.
It's Christmas Eve. These guys deserve a bonus for good work like everybody else does.
And what
They
about
work
the inside?
incredibly hard.
What about the inside? Did you then get inside and start cleaning it yourself?
Well, it's brand new, so I don't need much of that. But
It probably does, judging by the outside.
But the problem is, probably between you and I, the car's now full of Christmas presents, all right?
Yeah.
Some very expensive ones, which I'm taking down to Bournemouth
Well, I hope you
tomorrow.
haven't parked it anywhere unwise.
Well, exactly. This is what I'm worried about. So,
Where is it now?
I've hidden it. I'm not telling anybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've hidden it?
I've hidden it, yeah.
Why don't you just park it somewhere in a garage?
I've hidden it away from public view.
Have you?
Yes.
Very good.
So that's no problem.
Is there lots of, expensive gifts?
Expensive gifts, yeah.
What's the most expensive gift you've bought?
I think it's probably...
It's not jewellery or anything like that, is it?
No, it's not jewellery, but in one sort of card type thing, there's a voucher for two to have dinner on a Saturday night at the Ritz Hotel in London.
All right.
Yes.
That must be quite worth. Well, nobody's going to nick that, are they?
With drinks.
Oh, look, this is great. Let's go and have a secret dinner at the Ritz.
Yeah, they could
That's no
nick it.
use
They
to
could
anybody.
nick it and take it.
Well, burglars aren't interested in that.
Well, what do you mean?
What do you think they're going to burgle the car and go, oh, look at this, let's go for dinner at the Ritz on Saturday night?
Well, the most expensive one that's something, if you see what I mean, which is an animate object.
Right.
No, an inanimate object. Inanimate
yeah.
object is a water feature for the bottom of the garden.
A water feature?
Water feature.
Well, how big is that?
It's pretty big. Takes up the whole of the boot.
I bet it does.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
It looks like an old-fashioned pump with a metal handle on the top.
one of those, yeah.
And you put the water in the bottom, start the motor, and it just continuously goes round.
Is it going to actually be a proper water pump then?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Where does the water come from?
Well, you pour it in the bottom in a chamber, and it just circulates it.
So it's like a faux water pump.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That pretty much sums up your life, doesn't it?
No.
Everything's fake. Nothing is actually what it seems. And everything is just one of those kind of, bourgeoisie type scenarios.
Why have you got a hole in the elbow of your... Did you say that's a cashmere jumper?
Have I?
Yeah.
There's no hole in it.
Yes, there is, yes.
Where?
I'll show you, hang on.
There's no hole in it.
Hang on. Yeah.
There's no hole in it.
Get your hand out.
Show me.
Oh, nice.
What are you doing?
Right.
There's no hole in it.
Other arm.
There's no hole in it.
And we came in before. Right, what's that?
Oh, there's a hole in that arm, yeah.
Right.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Well, I guess it must be coming to the end of its life
I've
then.
just found a hole in the elbow area of the so-called cashmere jumper. You must have had that for 10 years.
I've probably had it for quite a long time.
Well, I mean, there you go. So I've done you a service, haven't I?
Yeah, thank you.
You could have put that on tomorrow and gone to wherever you're going, and they just said, oh, well, the bagman's arrived.
Well, no, they're
with a
my
hole in his
family.
jumper.
No, they're my family. My family actually love me.
Yeah,
if I had a hole in
yeah.
my jumper, they wouldn't care.
Yeah, I
they're not
think
like
they
your
would.
family who demand that you wear a suit, who demand that you wash your car, who
Yes.
demand that you have a haircut, who demand that you bring plenty of slippers so that you don't sully
couldn't get a
the
haircut today. Couldn't get a haircut.
Couldn't get one.
No.
Anyway, look at the time. It might be Christmas Day, but we can't, just do away with all the normal requisites of a radio programme. We are the two mics. It is Christmas Day. Loads more coming up.
Christmas 2015 on Talk Sport. Turkey, tinsel, terraces, and the waft of supermarket own brand aftershave. Merry Christmas. Talk Sport.
We are the two mics. It is Christmas Day, of course. We've just had our Snowball fight, and the results of which will be announced very shortly. And the video will be put up on Two Mics TV, of course. We've got lots more to do. Mark Donaldson's going to join us in a little while and tell us what he's hoping for Christmas. And as Santa is supposed to be approaching, by the way, he's somewhere near Argentina and Chile at the moment. Porky, at the moment, is still trying to pick up all the detritus of the Snowball fight. Do you mind getting back into your seat, please, while we're trying to get back on the radio here?
Yeah.
That's to say, you weren't very successful at throwing snowballs.
Well, as usual, you cheated.
How did I cheat?
Well, you had some sort of technique which meant all your snowballs hit me in the face.
Yeah.
But mine went over your head.
It's called accurate throwing.
I don't know. It's becoming impossible to work with you. Gerrymander everything we do.
How can I gerrymander a snowball fight?
Oh, dear me. Anyway, there you go.
Anyway, it's ready to go up. It's going to be on Two Mics TV very shortly.
Yeah.
It's not quite there
Okay,
yet.
still much light in this studio now.
Yeah, too much light. You have to put the lights off. And I've only been able, because of that snowball fight, I've only been able to have like a little bit of it. Just switch the thing off. What are you doing?
How do you switch it off?
This is where the switch is.
Oh, okay.
But now he's turned down the other light, so it's complete darkness.
Right, that's it, yeah.
You are completely useless, aren't you, when it comes to anything to do with electricity?
Yeah.
Completely and utterly useless. What are you doing now?
Trying to recover the snowballs from under the
Well,
desk.
don't worry about the snowballs. We'll get them later.
Right.
Why do you need them now?
Hang on. 3, 6,
Well, why do you have
9,
to have them all back?
12, 13. One's missing.
Well, so what?
Well, you know...
It doesn't matter.
I want a rematch.
We're in the middle of a radio
To have
show.
a rematch, you need the 14 snowballs.
You want to have another go?
Yeah, well, of
Is that what
course
you're
I
telling
do.
me? Why?
Well, because, you know, I felt that you gerrymandered the whole situation.
I didn't. I just
as usual.
ducked. I ducked when you threw them at me.
Yeah. Right, anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
I suppose you're going to post this because you think you won.
Well, I did win.
Well.
I think the score was 7-2, wasn't it?
I'm not sure it was.
I think it was 7-2.
Oh, dear me, I don't know. Anyway, listen, the point is, it's not about winning, it's about competing, because
Yeah.
it is Christmas Day.
It is.
Okay? So that was just a bit of frivolity.
It was, yeah.
Wasn't a serious competition.
No, it wasn't.
Doesn't matter who won.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course
Well,
not.
There you go.
But you wore those very attractive Christmas glasses.
Yes, I
Which
thought
I rather
so,
like,
so.
actually.
Yes,
I
I
rather
did
like
as well.
those.
Now, of course, there's a quiz at the end of the show tonight. The Three Wise Men.
The Three Wise
I
Men.
heard you making a jibe earlier about the fact that you don't think I have any wisdom at all.
Well, I said I don't think you're very wise.
Well, I think that's, very unkind of you, but there you are.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what
I'm reliably informed there are no questions about Dennis Wise, by the way.
What?
There's no questions in there about
No
Dennis
question about
Wise.
Dennis Wise. No, I thought you might do that. Now, listen, you know in the old award-winning Porky review last night, I
Yeah.
talked about the snow chick.
Oh, yeah, the snow chick.
So I
yeah.
thought it was the snow calf or something. The
Yeah.
snow chick, it was the penguin. I saw the whole of it today.
Did you?
It was very moving.
You told me it was rubbish yesterday.
Well, I saw bits of it which I thought were rubbish, but it was very moving indeed.
Yeah.
And it was more moving.
Does it die at the end?
No, nobody dies, but the situation's quite remarkable. The snow chicks are so vulnerable, they can be eaten by, is it petrels? Or what's that big bird?
Kestrels.
No. Big bird, big beak, big wings.
bird. Oh, the one from Sesame Street.
Petrel?
Petrel? Petrel.
No, isn't it called a petrel?
Petrel, I don't know.
Petrel.
Yeah, it could be.
It's a big...
Whereabouts are we talking about? Antarctica?
Yes, that's where the
I'll have
penguins
a
are.
look.
By the way, do you know what occurred to me when I was watching it? So
No.
there's these vast weights of Antarctica. There's all these penguins.
Yeah.
And what happens is they're born, and for the first 5 months have to be protected by their parents.
Yeah.
And then, do you know what happens?
Right.
The parents turn around and just abandon them. They just...
Well,
they,
the bears do that as well.
they just walk
You know
off.
what bears do? Do you know what bears do?
What?
When the bear cubs are what they consider to be old enough but still quite young,
Yeah.
they basically hit them on the top of the head and walk off and leave them there unconscious and wait for them to wake up.
Yeah.
And when they wake up, there's no parents there and they have to fend for themselves.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
My father told me that.
Oh, well, I've never seen that happen, frankly.
Well, of course you've never seen it happen.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were in the environs of a grizzly bear community?
No, but I mean, I've never seen a documentary which explained that. But what happens to these penguins
Is that the bird you're talking about? A petrel? So it's a seabird of some kind.
That's it, yeah, huge bird, yeah.
Yeah.
And they can
Tube-nosed seabirds.
yeah, they can swoop down and pick up a little penguin chick,
Yeah,
you see.
right.
The penguin chick can also be eaten by sea lions.
Well, seagulls could get them as well, couldn't they?
No, seagulls aren't really big enough. But sea lions
They are down in Hastings.
or
Yeah.
killer sharks.
Killer sharks.
Oh, sorry, killer whales.
Killer whales.
Killer
yeah.
whales, yeah,
Well, they come up
seriously.
on the beach.
Yeah, they do. They do.
come up on the beach and eat the sea lions, don't they?
They do indeed, yeah. But I'm telling you, the sight of seeing these penguins fire out of the sea like missiles. They come out of the sea like they're Exocet missiles
Yeah.
coming from under the water
Yeah.
onto the ice. It's quite amazing. But anyway,
Well, you must have seen that before.
oh, it was fantastic. But anyway, what I'm saying is, so for 5 months they've got to be aware of predators. They can wander off and get lost and freeze to death without their parents' bodily comfort and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then after 5 months, literally, they all gather together. The whole tribe of whatever they're called. And the parents just abandon them. They just all turn round, all the king penguins, and they just march off, leaving the little ones to fend for themselves.
But what I find extraordinary is how you can come up with all this stuff now.
Yeah.
When Porky Vision was last night.
Yeah, I know. But
And in Porky Vision, you said basically it was boring, it was awful, and people shouldn't bother watching it.
yeah, but Porky Vision has to be about my views on things that are coming up.
Yeah.
And reviewing and previewing.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a detailed analysis of one
No, I see.
programme.
Yeah.
So what happens is, right, get this, when all the parents have disappeared, then they have to start fending for themselves.
Yeah.
So then they have to eventually jump into water themselves and find fish. But when that happens, guess what? All the baby fur comes off and they start looking like real penguins.
Yeah, right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Well,
But-
I'm very glad that you've actually found some bone of compassion over this Christmas period.
absolutely.
Because you've been nothing but Grinch-like and Scrooge-like ever since Christmas week has been going on.
Why?
This whole week. Yeah, this whole week you've been a miserable old sod.
That's very unfair.
You have. By the way, I've just been reminded by Lord Doralo
yes.
that this is he's eagerly anticipating your the Porky speech.
Yes.
Porky Christmas speech. Have you got one prepared?
Mm-hmm.
Have you? Really?
Yes, I thought we'd do that at the end of the last hour of the show.
Yeah, we can do that whenever you like.
At the start of the last hour of the show, yeah.
Very much at your own disposal
Yes.
with that one.
Yes.
Oh, good. Is there a theme to it? You can preview for us.
The theme is cherish your fellow man.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Right, now then, tell you what else I want to talk to you about.
Go on.
Do you know a good way to lose weight in this festive season?
Yeah.
Well, you don't, because you're eating mince pies all week.
That doesn't mean I don't know of a way to do it.
Literally.
Yeah, well, what, this is the week you eat mince pies in. What's wrong with that?
Well, honestly, I just couldn't do it. I mean, have you seen me ingest anything like food this week at all?
No.
No, exactly.
Well, I never see you ingesting food. I've never seen, I've known you for about 30-odd years,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I've never seen you ingesting food more than about 5 times in my life.
Because I'm a professional. I don't
Professional
go
what?
around snacking. A professional in every sense of
I'm
the word.
talking about even having dinner and lunch with you. I mean, a number of times you and I have had lunch, I
Yes.
could count probably on the fingers of one hand.
Well, we've had quite a lot of dinners and things.
I don't think so.
New York and London and
Hardly
whatever.
ever, no, we hardly ever have dinner.
Yeah, that's true. Now, what I was going to say is what you need to do. Yeah, what you need to do is you need to buy a mirror the size of a wardrobe.
Yeah.
And put it in your dining room.
Uh-huh.
I'm not joking. And every time
What if you haven't got a dining room?
Well, wherever you eat.
Okay.
Like your kitchen.
Okay.
Okay? And whenever you glance at that mirror, your conscience will literally be, pricked. And you'll think,
No, that's
hang
rubbish.
on.
No, you see, again, you're working on the
it will
principle.
stop you eating food.
No, because
it will stop you eating food.
Well, but I've got plenty of mirrors already. You're working on the principle, right?
Yes.
That you will look in the mirror and feel shame.
Yes, that's it.
Because you feel
Yeah.
shame all the time.
No, I don't.
I don't feel shame when I look in the mirror.
Well, you should feel shame.
Why?
Your bodily
Why should
shape
I?
is repulsive.
Well, you say that, but not everybody thinks so.
You are the shape of a camel.
Not everybody thinks that.
You're the shape of a
I haven't
camel
got a hump.
standing on 2 legs.
I
That's
have
what you are.
I have not got a hump.
Well, you say that. But anyway, listen, I'll read this to you because it came from one of my scientific journals.
Oh, yeah.
Subtle tweaks to how people see, consume and think about food, even using a fork rather than a spoon, can help them to lose weight.
Yeah.
And this is one of the first academic journals
Using a
dedicated...
fork rather than a spoon for what?
To put food into your mouth.
Well, what would you use a spoon for that you should be using a fork for?
Well, the idea is if you use a spoon,
Yeah.
you're scooping up a larger quantity of food because a spoon takes more.
Yeah, but I would only normally use a spoon, say, for eating porridge.
Well,
I'm not going to eat porridge with a fork, am I?
People, for instance, should start using spoons to eat baked beans because then it's very much more difficult to pick them up and you don't get as many as you do in a spoon.
A spoon?
Yeah, see what I mean?
No, you just said use a spoon for baked beans.
Yeah. No, I said use a fork. What did I say, a spoon? No, I meant a fork.
But why would you use a spoon to eat your dinner?
Well, because
What sort of a maniac would do that?
Well, if you have a...
If I have baked beans, which is very rare,
yes.
I only ever have baked beans with shepherd's pie, if I make that.
Yes.
I don't eat it with a spoon. I eat it with a fork. It's dinner.
But what I'm saying is you should eat the baked beans individually with the prong bit of the fork, not scoop them up in the fork,
Well,
okay?
I mean, I couldn't care less what
Now,
you think.
here we
You've
go.
seen the time, by the way.
What?
You've seen the time.
Don't worry about it.
I am worried about it.
No, because this is important. This is important.
Yeah. It's not as important as the news.
At the University of Central Florida,
Yeah, I've heard of that.
they came up with the... Do you know where
one
it
of the
is?
real Ivy League places,
Do you know where it is?
It's probably in somewhere like Sarasota.
Artajami.
What?
Artajami.
Never heard of it.
Artajami, University of Central Florida.
Never heard of it.
Now, telling people
Formerly
they're
known
eating...
as Central Florida Poly.
Maybe. Telling people they were eating healthy food led them to consume more because they found it less filling, okay?
Yeah.
Using a spoon instead of a fork may make people eat more because they underestimate the size of their meals. But the main preventive measure is to get a mirror in the room where you're eating. Every time you look at yourself in that mirror, it will prick your conscience and you will eat less food. So that's what you need to do, pal.
Yeah.
Have you got a mirror in the room where you eat?
I've got mirrors all over
Have
the
you
place.
honestly got a mirror in the room where you eat?
I've got mirrors in every room.
Right, have you got a mirror in the room where you eat?
Yeah, well, it depends what house I'm in.
Is it full size?
No.
Well, then that's what you're doing wrong. That's
I'm
why
not
you're so
doing anything
fat and
wrong.
repulsive.
I don't want to lose any weight.
Well, you should.
I'm quite happy.
You're deluding yourself, honestly.
Really?
Yes, you
What
are.
size shirts do you wear?
Me?
Yeah.
X, I've told you.
And what's your waist size?
My waist size,
Yeah.
it varies on the fashion shape of the trousers I'm wearing.
Well, give us a vague, 38, 40, 42?
Oh, anything between 34 to...
34?
To larger, yeah.
34?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Last time you were 34, I think Margaret Thatcher was in power.
What?
This is Talk Sport. Loads more coming up.
Talk Sport on DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM. The enduring home of football.
It's modern radio, only better.
Two mics. It is, of course, Christmas Day. Santa has already been, by the way, to this part of the world, and at the moment he's hovering around over South America and heading up towards the east coast of North America as well. Lots more to tell you about. And there's an American football game on as well. It looks like the Oakland Raiders are playing, so we'll keep you updated on that. I think it's 0-0 at the moment. Mark Donaldson's going to be joining us as well. Keep your tweets and your texts coming in. As I say, if you haven't had a look yet, go on to 2 Mics TV or follow us at the 2 Mics, and you'll see this remarkable indoor snowball fight, which I appear to have won 7-2. It's an astonishing victory, that.
Well,
considering I haven't thrown a snowball for many a year.
You cheated again.
How did I cheat?
You cheated because you kept ducking down when I was aiming at your head and your face, and all of a sudden you weren't there.
Well, I didn't duck down at all.
120 people have already looked at it, and I'm getting a lot of sympathy.
John says this: Porky's head's like a punch bag. However, did he become Butlins champion in 1942?
Well,
Becky says Porky can't throw, duck, slide or dodge. How was he a boxing champion?
Yes, it was a bit of a problem, I agree. But anyway, have a look at it, folks. It's on 2 Mics TV. Can I please endorse what old MG said to you just before the break there? I'm so grateful to all of you for all the best wishes you've sent us throughout the day today. Couldn't reply to them all individually, Mike, because there were thousands of them.
There's so many, yeah.
So I put out a generic, thank you very much, everybody.
Although it was noted, I have to say, because I've been getting these Merry Christmas and Happy New Year messages now for about a week, right?
Yes.
And it has been noted, I have to say this with a heavy heart, that people were saying, the true man of the people, of course, is myself, because I was saying thank you very much indeed and wishing people a Happy New Year back.
And so was I.
Whereas you weren't doing any of that.
I was.
No, you weren't.
I was.
No, you were just saying things like, oh, thanks for your kind words, very much appreciate it. You know, but you never actually...
What am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to wish them a happy Christmas as well.
Oh, well, I did.
No, you didn't.
No, a lot of the time I did.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, it's been noted, I'm afraid.
All right, well, I'll try and improve that one.
Yeah, all
right. Anyway, the indoor snowball fight is there on YouTube. Loads of people looking at it. You will all come to the same conclusion as me. Once again, old MG has been on the gerrymandering trail.
Dave says this: when Porky said he was 34 inches, he gave his neck size.
Is it supposed to be funny? It's supposed to be funny?
It is supposed to be funny. Oh, the Chargers have scored. San Diego
Sorry,
Chargers.
who's playing who?
It's Oakland Raiders against San Diego Chargers.
Nobody cares.
So it's a California, all California game.
Nobody cares.
And in fact, the funny thing is that San Diego are probably leaving San Diego at the end of this season.
Where are they going?
Because, they're probably going to LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Another team in LA.
Another team in LA.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, the Raiders used to be in LA, of course, as well.
Of course they did, yeah. Right. That seems to be...
well, we'll talk to Mark Donaldson about that, because I still say, and as you will know from many a year, that this will start happening in this country at some point or other. I know everybody talks about MK Dons and Wimbledon and all that. Yeah. I wouldn't be at all surprised if somewhere along the line, because there's going to be so much money in the Premier League, that somebody will decide to move a team for one reason or other. Do you know what's
always amazed me? Why is there not a team in this country with the name London in it?
Yeah, I know.
Because surely that would make them more marketable.
Well, except they've tried that with other sports, haven't they? They tried the London Monarchs for a while, didn't they? And they had the London Knights, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, but we're talking about football, the richest sport in the world.
Yeah.
Don't you think that if Chelsea adopted the London Chelsea, or Arsenal adopted the London Arsenal...
Well, they used to be the Woolwich Arsenal, didn't they?
Yeah, but that was like because they were a munitions factory.
Well, that's because they were in Woolwich.
Yeah, exactly, in Woolwich.
Mostly.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Or, even West Ham in their new ground with the Olympic Stadium, London West Ham.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't understand it. We've got Real Madrid, you've got Barcelona, you've got Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
You've got...
Bayern
Munich, Inter Milan, AC Milan.
Roma.
Every major city in Europe has got
Juventus?
a team named
Where are they
after
from?
them. They're from Turin.
Right, they're not called Turin Juventus,
No,
are they?
but Torino are called Turin.
Eh?
There's two teams in Turin. One is Torino and the other one is Juventus.
Right.
And Torino are called Turin.
What do you mean they're called Turin?
Well, Torino is the Italian for Turin.
Yeah, so they are Turin.
Yeah, they are
They're
Turin.
not called Turin.
Yeah, they are Turin, yeah.
It's like Liverpool.
It's like
saying Liverpool are called Liverpool.
It's like Porto.
Everton aren't called Liverpool.
Porto we call...
Why are Everton not called Liverpool?
Because they're in a place called Everton.
Well, they're still in Liverpool, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. But the point is...
Well, it does matter.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Everton broke away
West
from...
Ham are in a place called West Ham.
Yes.
So you don't like that?
Yeah, I do, yeah. What's wrong with that?
Chelsea are in Chelsea.
Yes.
You don't like that either?
Yeah, but look, in Manchester, you've got Manchester United and Manchester City.
Yeah, so why can't you
clubs.
have Liverpool and Liverpool Everton?
Because it would be too confusing to have two teams in the same city with the same city name in without it being qualified.
Well, Liverpool Everton.
Well, then Liverpool would have to call themselves Liverpool City or Liverpool United or Liverpool Wanderers.
I don't think
or
they'll ever
something.
call themselves Liverpool United.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's the only way
it's
you
a kind
could
of
do it.
nebulous, stupid point you're making.
No, it's not. It's not a stupid point. Now,
It's a
listen,
very stupid point.
there's a good point I'm going to make here.
There's loads of teams that are named after the place that they're in, like Cardiff, for example. Leeds United.
Yeah, but that's a city. They're
Newcastle.
cities, but they're cities.
Well, so what?
Sheffield Wednesday are called Sheffield Wednesday. They're not called Hillsborough, although Hillsborough is the district in which they're in.
Yeah.
Right?
Right, and that's the name of their ground.
Yeah. That's right.
So
yeah.
I don't know what your point is, though.
My point is that it is amazing that in one of the biggest cities in the world, London, there is not a football team called London, despite the fact that
well, maybe nobody
one
wanted
of
to
the teams
claim
has
it.
won the Champions League. Another one, Spurs, was the first to win a European trophy.
Yeah.
Another one, who was it? Yeah, West Ham have won the European Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
Another one, Arsenal, have runners-up in the Champions League. And there's not a team in London called London something. That's remarkable.
Well, maybe that'll change.
It's remarkable. Now then, you're going with the family tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Now, can I tell you something to beware of?
Go on.
You should take your own special small wine glass.
What?
Take your own special small wine glass.
Right.
I'll tell you why.
My daughter's fiancé, by the way, runs a restaurant.
Yes.
So we've got no shortage of glasses.
No, exactly. But what
So
I'm
why
saying,
would I need to take an extra glass?
because it needs to be a small one. Because what happens is, the bigger the glass that you drink from, the more you will drink.
That's not true.
No, it is true.
You know what? I tell you why that's not true. Because
Yeah.
I've actually got some small glasses in my apartment in London.
Yes.
And I find that when I drink out of those, I actually drink quicker.
No,
Because when you have a larger glass of wine, I feel much more kind of relaxed.
Well-
I feel like, I can take a sip of it and there's still plenty in there. Whereas if in the smaller glass, you take a little sip of it and suddenly it's half of it's gone.
I don't agree.
And also for the flavour of the wine,
Yeah.
especially if it's a decent red,
Yeah.
the bigger the glass, the better. Because the nose is better, the bouquet is better,
Why do you think sherry is served in smaller glasses?
so that nuns don't get drunk.
Well, no, it's so that you don't consume too much of it because it's a very heavy sort of
That's not the
wine.
point. Yeah, but the point about wine is any wine expert will tell you the bigger the wine, especially for a glass of red wine, it's a decent red, and I'm going to be drinking that very nice red that I was sent in by the guy who sent you a bottle of Black Tower.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Cabernet Sauvignon from Chile.
Okay.
And I'm going to be
I like
pouring
Chilean
that
red.
into a very large glass, right? And I'm going to let it run around and see what sort of legs it's got.
Okay.
And I'm going to enjoy the experience. I'm going to sniff it for a bit.
So you think
Excuse me, I'm still describing what I'm going to be doing.
Oh, are you? Right.
And,
so I thought we'd had enough of that.
No, we haven't had enough of
Right,
it.
go on
No.
then.
And
Yeah.
so then I'm going to drink it, sip it and savour it, right?
Right.
But if it's in a small
Sip it and
glass...
savour it. You?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
You're like a
Tomorrow's a big drinking
you're like
day.
a water sluice when it comes to drinking
Tomorrow
wine.
is a big drinking day. I'm going to have, I would say...
Oh, you admit
in fact,
that?
I may have...
You admit that in advance.
Well, it will be a big drinking day
big
because I'm not
drinking day,
working. Normally when I'm working, I can't drink because I have to come into work.
Well, you can't drink full stop without getting bladderated.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I will have my first glass of champagne, I would imagine, around about midday.
Midday.
Right? And then from that point on...
Well, you won't have a drink before midday?
I won't, no.
Well, a load of Biloxio.
Why would you think I would have a drink before midday?
Because you'll have a drink the minute you get up in your own apartment before you go out for lunch. Of course you will.
Because I'm driving.
You just said that
No,
you
I'm
attempted
driving.
today to have a drink.
I was.
Yeah.
But I didn't have one.
Yeah, well, you can have one glass before you get in the car.
Well, no, of course not.
You
I
can't?
don't believe in that. I don't believe in drink driving.
Now then, you think you're clever in telling me this, but you're not as clever as people at Cambridge University, which is one of the best in the world.
Is
and
it?
I trust the Cambridge University.
Does he have an interview there as well?
No, but I have their research paper.
Oh, yeah.
I have their research
What's it
paper.
about?
Cambridge University researchers found that when a bar served 175 milliliters of wine in a 250...
Milli what?
Milliliter,
Millilitres.
Yeah, that's it.
Not milliliters.
300 millilitres and 370 millilitre glass for 2 weeks each. Sales went up by 9% when the largest glass was used compared with the other two.
Yeah.
People drinking from the larger glasses wanted more wine.
Yeah, but they may not be professional drinkers like you and I.
Larger vessels caused drinkers to underestimate the amount it held compared to small glass. Teresa Martou, who is head of Cambridge's Behavioural and Health Research Unit.
Teresa
Martou.
Marteau.
Marteau. Marteau,
Oh, okay.
right? She said, that wasn't a full glass, so I'll have another. People say to themselves with a big glass, that wasn't a full glass, I think I'll have another. The findings could lead
Yeah,
to a
but you
public
don't-
health warning
yeah,
to
but hang on.
bars to sell
Yeah, but
wine
hang
in
on.
smaller glasses.
No, but hang on. I mean, one of the problems, right, with the way that people drink in this country is that they don't know how to drink properly.
Yeah.
And one of the problems, I agree, with bars is that if they say, do you want a large glass of wine, they give you a large glass of wine and they fill it right to the top. Now, if I've got some very, very large red wine glasses, okay, which I would say are, which hold approximately what this mug would hold, right? But they're shaped beautifully, big balloon glasses.
Yeah.
Or
Half a pint, that.
balloon glasses, as you would say. But you only fill it halfway. You don't fill it up to the top like some kind of glutton.
Yeah.
That's the point. You don't fill a large glass up.
Yeah, but listen...
This is what you're missing.
Listen, people, psychologically, bigger glass, they drink more.
Not
Believe
true.
me, it's been done by Cambridge researchers.
I don't care.
You're a thickhead.
I know more about drinking
You're
than
a
anybody at
thickhead.
Cambridge. You tell me anyone at Cambridge University knows more about drinking than me, and I will give in to you. But I don't think there is.
Alistair Campbell.
He's a drunk.
He's
a drunk.
He used to lead the Cambridge drinking team.
Yeah, but he's a
told
drunk.
me all
He's
about
an
it.
alcoholic. He can't handle his drink. I can.
That's a bit hard.
Well, he can't, can he? That's why he gave up. This is Talk Sport. We're going to talk to Mark Donaldson. He's a man who can handle his drink. Coming next.
It's a radiator. An umbrella. And a taxi. A shopping trolley. Santa's sleigh. An office.
I just parked up.
And a karaoke booth.
Your car is a lot of things at this time of year. Treat it to Esso Synergy Supreme Plus and get double club card points. Engineered by the team that also fuels the McLaren Honda Formula One team. Esso. Energy lives here. Available at participating Esso service stations only. See esso.co.uk for details.
I'm so happy we're finally doing date night. I've missed you. I know you've been really busy. It's just nice we can do this. I really do love you, Steve.
I know. I love you too, Dave. And Deborah.
Everybody makes mistakes, but if you've been convicted of a driving offence or have been banned from driving, at MCE Insurance, we don't judge. For car, van or motorcycle insurance, visit mceinsurance.com today and put your past behind you. MCE Insurance, title sponsor of the MCE British Superbikes.
When you need all the latest form and odds on all the day's sporting action and you need it fast, you need the Coral Daily Download. Get all the latest news and great offers on all the big games and all the biggest race meetings in one essential package. Delivered to your ears at the speed of sound. Don't miss the Coral Daily Download every morning on the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast from 6 on Talk Sport with Coral. Your best bet for breakfast.
Christmas 2015 on Talk Sport.
Back of the net!
Pull your stockings up.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
This is Talk Sport. We are the two mics. Of course, it's Porky Quiz night tonight, and the Porky Quiz tonight, because we are in a festive mood, is, of course, on the Three Wise Men.
It certainly is.
There's only one wise man sitting in the studio here, though, I have to say.
I'm not taking that. Listen, just before we talk to our pal Mark Donaldson,
Yes.
Lee here sends in a tweet. Lee has seen the Snowball fight. That Snowball fight was brilliant. Porky couldn't hit a cow's arse with a banjo. Nice shot, MG.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, lads.
There was, I must say, there was
Thank
an
you, Lee.
inordinate amount of pleasure evoked by me by hitting you in the head with a snowball.
Well, you kept ducking and they kept going over your head. I mean, it's,
Well, that's
you know,
what you
once
do in a
again,
snowball.
you cheated.
What do you think you do in a snowball fight? You don't just stand there and wait for somebody to smack you in the face with one. Do you?
I don't know. I think it's a bit off. But anyway, there you go.
Now, here's one from somebody who doesn't give a name, who has texted to 81089. Hi, guys. He says, I'm fed up with the pot calling the kettle black. There's only one way to prove this hypocrisy by Mr. Parry, which is to weigh the both of you live on air.
Yes. Oh, I couldn't do that.
Why not?
It's, well, you couldn't do it.
I'd bring in some weighing scales. If you like.
No. The weighing machine itself, you wouldn't get into this studio.
What do you mean you wouldn't get it in? You get
Honestly,
one of those
they're
little
huge.
flat ones that you stand on.
No, they're huge, honestly. No, they're totally inaccurate. Anybody can...
Well, yeah, but they'd be inaccurate to the same
fiddle
degree.
them.
Yeah, but they'd be inaccurate to the same degree.
No, they wouldn't. No.
So therefore, it wouldn't matter how inaccurate they were.
It depends a lot on bodily shape as well.
Yeah. Let's have a word with Mark Donaldson and wish him a very, very
Indeed.
Merry Christmas. Mr. Donaldson, a very Merry Christmas to you.
Happy Christmas, boys. How are you both?
Yeah, very
well indeed.
Very well indeed. Porky, of course, at this time of year, generally is a little bit more curmudgeonly than normal because he doesn't really like the idea of, joy being spread around the world and, good wishes and general generosity and all that kind of thing. So he's a bit grumpy. So forgive him if he's a bit
Not
sharp
at all.
with you.
Not
We're
at
sitting,
all.
and he's also grumpy because I'm making him watch the Raiders play the San Diego Chargers, which he's not very happy about.
I mean, talk about boring you to death. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Mark. Yeah.
We're watching it as well, and I'm at a friend of mine's house, and this is a guy called Trey Wingle who hosts the NFL over here. And I went and he invited me to his house tonight. Obviously, the game's on as well because he hosts the NFL. And I said to him, "Happy Christmas," and he's like, "Oh, that's so much better than what we say over here." And I said, "What do you say over here in the States?" And he said, "Merry Christmas," like you two have just said. And I didn't think that there was a kind of discrepancy between the Brits would say Happy Christmas and the Americans would say Merry Christmas, but you guys have said Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
So,
well, I tend to say sort of either or, really. But
Well,
I mean,
exactly.
the worst one is Happy Holidays, isn't it, really?
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh, no.
dreadful. You don't need
No.
that.
And just a quick one for you. So Trey's father has just arrived from California. Trey's father founded Life magazine over here, and he was the guy who negotiated with Abraham Zapruder to get the film of the JFK assassination back in 1963. So there's a bit of history. He's just arrived from California. Hal Wingo II.
Hang on, and he founded Life magazine.
He founded Life magazine with his colleague Dick. I can't remember his surname. It was a guy called Dick. And they founded Life magazine way back. And he has just arrived from California.
Well,
and
Mark,
that's Trey's father.
This guy's a pivotal man in the history of American publishing.
Yes.
I mean, that is,
He is.
That's a magazine that a lot of people regard as a mirror on life in America, you know?
Well, here's the thing, Mike, as well. Think about it now. Obviously, when the atrocities in Paris happened a few weeks ago, within seconds, it was on social media. It was global. It was on CNN. It was on Fox News. It was on Sky News. Think about this. His father negotiated with Abraham Zapruder, who filmed from the grassy knoll the assassination of JFK.
Yes.
Now, that happened on the Friday, the 22nd of November, 1963. Life magazine came out on the Monday. It wasn't until Life magazine came out on the Monday, you saw Jack Ruby getting the shot in on Lee Harvey Oswald. You saw Walter Cronkite as well. But it wasn't until Monday that the first pictures of the assassination of the President of the United States, 3 days after it happened, were actually made public. Imagine that now.
That is incredible. That is utterly incredible.
Well, I mean,
really.
it was also one of the most amazing things about that particular event as well was it was the last time that none of the networks were with a president, because after that happened, all the networks said we must have a camera on the president at all times, wherever he is. And so now that's why you always see whether Barack Obama's, stroking a dog or just walking somewhere.
Or planted a tree or something in the rose
there is always a pool camera on.
Mark, when you say no pictures, the TV pictures must have been released, mustn't they, over the weekend?
No, there weren't TV pictures, that's the point.
Of Jackie Kennedy scrabbling back on the car and retrieving a piece of the president's skull.
That wasn't a TV picture.
No, he arrived at Love Field and he travelled. It wasn't live on television like it is now. There were no live pictures. So the only pictures, and if you remember back then, there's all sorts of allegations that the CIA and the FBI removed the footage from various people.
Sure.
Zapruder was the only one that got away with the footage. And interestingly enough, I loved just listening to Trey's dad, Mr. Wingo, and he said that he was offered 4 times as much. I mean, he got the tape for 50,000, and what they did after they published the pictures on the Monday, they gave him the tape back. They gave him the original back. But there were no live pictures of that event.
That's amazing. That is an amazing
And that's my
story.
point, because there were no TV pictures.
Absolutely,
and the only pictures that emerged later were the city film stuff that people were able to collect.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fascinating
terrific,
story. It's 7 each, by the way, now in the Chargers-Oakland Raiders game.
Wow, stop the world.
So, I mean, Christmas Eve, I guess, Mark, unlike here, where Boxing Day is the big sports day, Christmas Eve is a big sports day.
It is. We've got the Chargers against the Raiders. Tomorrow, NBA kind of takes centre stage, and it's on throughout. Saturday night is the Eagles against the Redskins. But the good thing for us over here on Saturdays, we've got a live Premier League game at 7:45. We've got one at 10. We've got one at 12:30, and we've got the 2:45 game, which I think is Southampton against Arsenal. And then we've got the Eagles against the Redskins, and then there's the full card in the NFL on Sunday as well. So, I mean, this is just great. A lot of people in the United States celebrate on Christmas Eve. Some of them will open maybe one present, and they'll have dinner with friends as well. Thanksgiving, for most, is big. Some people think Christmas Day is bigger, and others think Thanksgiving as well. It's basically a month of fun where you just drink and be merry and have time with family.
Yeah, but the Americans don't drink like we do in this country, do they, Mark?
They don't drink like you do, no.
Well, they don't drink like you do, you sack, yeah. I always found the Americans looking a little bit down their nose at me at dinner parties.
That's because you were normally lying on the floor.
that's probably true. In those list of games you just mentioned, Mark, you missed out Newcastle-Everton, didn't you?
I don't know how to predict that.
1:30 in the morning.
That's a 5:30 game, isn't it?
No, it's 1:30 in the morning for Mark, isn't it?
Hey, no.
No, it's
12:30 in the afternoon.
12:30 in the afternoon for you. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, hang on. Where are you based, Mark?
He's in Connecticut.
Connecticut, that's right, yeah. That's 12:30.
Take 5 away, Mr. Pratt.
Yes, exactly.
This is the man who claims that he was the head of bureau in the United States of America from sort of several years in the 1980s, when I'm fairly sure the international dateline was the same.
It was, actually, yeah.
Why did he never got anything in the paper?
No, I thought Mark was in California because he was going on about San Diego and all that, you know.
I was last week.
Exactly. That's what confuses me. Right, OK, so anyway, we've been waiting with tenterhooks, Mark, for LVG to be sacked, and he hasn't been sacked. So how long's he going to last?
End of the season here. I mean, I don't know what the bookies are and the odds are like right now, but it seems pretty certain. Kicker magazine in Germany have got Pep Guardiola going to Manchester City. I wouldn't be surprised if Mourinho ended up at Manchester United, and there's some talk for Simeone at Chelsea. Yeah. So I don't know what the talk over there is. If that's a possibility, I don't know what you guys are hearing.
Well, Simeone to Chelsea is seemingly the first choice.
Yes.
They've supposedly been interviewing the national coach from Chile as well in the last couple of days. Yeah. But I'm with you, Mark. I don't see LVG getting the boot or the heave-ho before the end of the season.
Well, I mean,
because I don't think Manchester United know what they're doing.
Well, do you know what? There is an element of what Mike's just said there, Mark. There is a rumour going round that the Glazers, who own Manchester United, A, are considering their future in ownership of the club, right? But B, have said what could be pivotal is whether they can get Pep Guardiola to come and join Manchester United. When the instruction's gone out, get Pep Guardiola. Now,
how about my secret conspiracy theory from the other week?
Yeah, go on.
Which is that sometime soon, maybe not the end of this season, but sometime soon, led by Gary Neville from Valencia, will come the man from Singapore who will buy out the Glazers, and he will install Pep Guardiola and Gary Neville as the running team of Manchester United.
I think that's a credible theory, Mark.
He has an interest in another sports team, doesn't he? The guy who's got Valencia. Is he not got Salford City, part of Salford City?
Well, he has. Well, because he's mates with Gary Neville.
Yeah, because Gary Neville...
They're also in all sorts of development property deals as well.
Oh, yeah, all over Manchester where hotels and things are going up. That's a consortium involving Gary Neville and Mr Lim. Salford City is a consortium involving Gary Neville, the class of 92, and Mr Lim. I mean, this guy is big.
But this is, I mean, you talk about the Glazers and talk about Manchester United. I mean, the Glazers have a big interest in sports over here as well.
Yes.
You're not talking millions, you're talking billions. I mean, I don't know what the wealth of this guy has. I mean, he's certainly got a part of Salford City. This is a different stratosphere. Would he have enough money to be able to buy out the Glazers?
Oh, he does, yeah.
The other thing
he definitely does.
Well, okay, the other thing is as well, as much as Gary Neville has been a hero to Manchester United fans over the years, he's a novice. And we've loved watching him on Sky and his tactical nous and whatever. But would Manchester United fans want a novice manager coming in to take on the likes of Guardiola if he goes to City and Simeone at Chelsea?
Well, do you know what, Mark? I've got a theory that Gary Neville is probably not even focused on being a coach in the long term because of all his business interests. I see him as the next Ed Woodward at Manchester United, if you see what I mean. You know, a sort of chief executive type figure. You know, a man who would sort of pull the strings and guide a manager and all that kind of stuff. I see Ryan Giggs as the manager under Gary Neville.
Well, I think you still need a bit of experience as well, because it hasn't really started well for Gary Neville at Valencia.
No.
It depends what you want. I mean, if you were to do a straw poll of Manchester United fans, who do you think would be the favourite for them to want to be the next coach?
Jose Mourinho, without a shadow of a doubt. They've done the polls. I think it was something like 79% of United fans took 5 seconds to say, bring in Jose Mourinho.
But is Mourinho a guy for the long term? I've seen people talk about Mourinho's 2 seasons and then it just doesn't go well after that.
Yeah, but they need short-termism. They need short-termism at the moment, Mark. They are in crisis, and they've got to end the crisis.
They're not in crisis. They're fifth.
They're in crisis.
They're fifth.
They are in
on
crisis.
goal difference. How is that a crisis?
Because they lost the last 3 games.
What does that mean?
Won for 6 games.
What does that mean for Everton then? We were down in 10th place.
Yeah. By the way, Mark, when I say the club are in crisis, over the last 48 hours, Louis van Gaal has gone into a press conference, showed himself to be a belligerent little schoolboy and walked out. And then today,
got that idea from.
And then today, they put up the captain, Wayne Rooney, telling the world what a great guy Louis van Gaal is. When Wayne Rooney's got to come forward and start saying, "Don't worry, all the lads are behind the manager," you might as well have run up the white flag.
Are there not 15 other clubs in the English Premier League that would love to be in the crisis?
Exactly.
United
and one of them's Everton, by the way.
Yeah, but it's all about degrees. It's all degrees and it's all relative. And the relativity is that Manchester United are losing pace with the stellar clubs of Europe. And they can't afford to do that if they want to remain the biggest club in the world.
But it could be the case as well, out the Champions League, and I don't know what team he's going to play in the Europa League. I know it's now an avenue to the Champions League, but being out of the Champions League might give them the opportunity to focus fully on the Premier League. And by the way, that's something that a lot of people have forgotten about. Leicester City have no interest whatsoever in Europe this season and no need to rest players or whatever for European ties. So I'd be surprised if they are not in the top 4 at the end of the season. And I wouldn't rule out Manchester United just yet, because there's going to be blips for all the other teams challenging. And if Manchester United can go on a run, if they can get goals, then I wouldn't be ruling them out just. I don't think they'll win it, but I don't think they'll be as far out of things as the crisis suggests.
Quite right. So, Mark, listen, thank you very much indeed. Have a great Christmas and a fantastic New Year, although we may talk to you between now and then. You never know.
Yeah.
Lots more for us to do, of course. Do go and have a look at the 2 Mics TV Snowball fight. I have to say so myself. I'm very proud of beating him into the snow 7-2. Absolute humiliation for Porky.
It's gerrymandered. Have a look at it. Have a look at it. It's on 2 Mics TV. Well, Please have a look at it.
I dodged the snowballs. Coming up later, of course, we're going to be talking to Sandra Lee, who is our Australian correspondent, where Christmas Day has probably much more passed her by, really, because it's much later over there, isn't it?
Has it come and gone now?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It does, yeah.
But anyway, we'll be talking to her about presents she got.
For her now, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Something like that, yeah. And for us, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM.
A terrific performance.
Turn of pace and eye for goal.
Shout about it.
Talk Sport.
This is Talk Sport. We are the 2 Mics. Of course, there will be a podcast coming out. However, I must issue a small proviso on the podcast front, because I seem to remember last year when we did our Christmas Day show, because there was nobody in the digital department to upload the podcast.
That's right.
The podcast didn't actually come out until Boxing Day. Now, I'm going to do my very best to make sure that somebody actually gets
Have you spoken to some technical people?
Well, I'm going to try and get them to get their act together.
This is your responsibility.
Well, it's not really my responsibility.
I do most everything else involving the 2 Mics, OK? I get us around the world. I get us up on stage.
Did you have anything to do with our Christmas card on Facebook?
Christmas card on Facebook, yes.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You don't even know how to put things up on Facebook.
Hang on, I was instrumental in the picture and the design of it. So don't give me that.
Well, no, you can't claim that credit because that was actually done by the new Twitter account that's following us called 2 Mics on Tour.
No way.
Anyway, let me read you a few.
It was. So thank you for that.
So don't try and steal their thunder because they're doing a very good job.
They are.
So thanks to them. But anyway, here's the thing. What we'll try and do is make sure that it gets uploaded Christmas Day morning. But obviously, for those people who are listening live, they may not be too worried about the podcast, but if you can tell anybody that is looking out for the podcast that it might be slightly delayed on account of the fact that it's Christmas Day, we'll do our best. Now, let me read you a few tweets that I've had.
Indeed.
Here's one from Geordie. Of course, Porky was the boxing champ, the greatest all-round sportsman. He was the best at everything at school. Lying was his forte.
I'm not having that.
That's what it says.
I'm sorry, get that man's details. My lawyers are on the case.
Ransom says this. Congrats on the win, MG. Porky had a big advantage. He's so short he didn't need to duck.
Stuart Weir, our old pal who we met last in Glasgow, says, a happy Christmas to you both. Never has the white grape been put under so much pressure by just 2 people. That's the expression I use more and more now.
The white grape.
Is he in the grip of the grape?
I know.
If you're in the grip of the grape, you've had it. Now, there's one here from Sri Lanka. This is lovely. Steve says, season greetings from Sri Lanka. Merry Christmas, lads. Great show. Thank you very much for all that. And
I thought you really like reading those out.
I don't, but I've also had a message tonight from a chap in Canada who got the DVD literally in the last post before Christmas.
Oh, that's from Matt, isn't it? I've got that one here.
All the way from England. Do you want to read that out? You got it there?
Well, it just says, hi guys, received my 2 Mics DVD today. Merry Christmas from Canada.
That's the one, isn't it? Great. And a young lady here called Suntel, and she says, talking about the big glasses, small glasses, I prefer a small
How
glass.
do you know she's a young lady?
She's got a picture of her.
All right.
I prefer a small glass and just sip it like a glass of Merlot or champagne, but I'm more of a brandy drinker. Wow. That's a heavy drinking lady. Wouldn't like to take her out for dinner and... wait, no, hang on.
There's any suggestion that she's asked you to take her out for dinner.
Hang on, and wait around for the, what do you call them? The postprandial?
The postprandial results?
No, the prandial drinks. She's on the brandies, the large brandies, and you're sitting in the Ritz Hotel.
I bet you wouldn't fork out for an expensive one, would you?
What?
You'd have a word with the barman slyly and say, she may have ordered a Hennessy XO, but just bring her a bottle of, a bottle of that Greek rubbish.
Well, hang on, brandy's brandy, isn't it?
No, of course not. It is not.
Of course it is. People who claim they're experts in brandy.
I was given a gift of some Hennessy XO a little bit earlier on this year. Do you know how much it costs a bottle?
Hennessy XO.
Which is what I used to drink in New York.
I'll guess £52.
150 quid.
Oof, dear me, I wouldn't buy a bottle of that.
Well, you could have bought me a bottle of that for Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, how about this one from Derek in Pencoed? Derek says, Ray, the topic of the Porky Quiz, the 3 wise men. Porky could never be classed as a wise man. And then he says, Happy Christmas to all at TalkSport.
OK, so it's an insult followed by a Happy Christmas, is it? I see. That's the general pattern, is it? Yes,
I think so.
See. Yeah,
Andy, the Potters fan, says, love you both. This time last year I broke my neck and back. But listening to you, Mike's, has been brilliant, and he says, Merry Christmas.
My God, he broke his neck and his back.
Yeah.
Are you in a wheelchair, my boy, or have you got up and started walking again?
Well,
I
I presume he's on the rebound.
Well,
anyway.
I do hope so. Right, OK.
And here's one from Nick. He says, well, Porky placed the water feature next to the beehive he bought last year.
Yeah, well, the beehive had a problem, I'm afraid. So
you never did get the beehive,
No, it never happened, no.
How about Janice in Salford, right, who is ye of little faith? She says this, how do we know you're broadcasting live? I suppose you could answer this text.
We could answer the
Why
text.
does she think that we weren't broadcasting live? We always broadcast live.
We never do pre-recorded shows.
No.
The world moves
Although we did do one last year.
But
not this year.
The world moves at a very, very fast pace, and you have to be up with things.
Well, it's very dangerous, isn't it, if you do a pre-recorded show, because sometimes the news events can overtake you.
Well, I'll tell you what, right, and this is just a technical thing.
Yeah.
In days of yore, when, I was in charge of things and all that kind of stuff.
When you had some power and responsibility.
Well, whatever, it's before I went
What do you mean, whatever?
I went into hospital and had a life-saving operation, and I was 36 hours from death, 7 months, wired up to a heart machine. You make light of these things. You make light of these things. Well, go along to... Well, I keep asking you to produce Dr. Banner, and you fail to do it on every occasion. He wouldn't talk about a patient.
He would if you gave him permission to.
No. It's the Hippocratic Oath. You can't. Anyway, point of my story
what is the point of your story?
I noticed that people used to do a pre-recorded intro to their show. So without giving any trade secrets away, that is that you read the first sort of 90 seconds of the show in another studio, and then it's pitch perfect when you come into the show. And play that first, bang, no problem at all.
Yeah.
The problem is, you and I have been in the business long enough to know that during those 90 seconds, because we have so much, instant communication these days, on one of our studio monitors, a sign could flash up saying, Louis Van Gaal resigns. Yeah. And you've lost it because you're stuck into something that's already been said.
Yeah, very bad idea.
Yeah.
Now, how about this?
So I'm just trying to reassure everybody out there that we are wholly live. Don't worry.
This is from Leslie, who says, a really good show. Keep up the good work. Can you say hi to me as I'm doing hospital radio on Christmas Day? Keep up the good work.
Excellent. Which hospital? Do we know?
Well, he doesn't say.
No?
He's in West Sussex, so maybe Crawley. I don't know.
No, Brighton.
Well, it could be Brighton.
No, hang on. North, south, east, west. Where's Brighton? Is that East Sussex?
Brighton is East Sussex.
Right, so West Sussex.
Crawley is West Sussex, near Gatwick.
Also in West Sussex.
What are you, the hospital expert of South East England?
Horsham.
Well, I don't know.
Horsham's in West Sussex.
Yeah, it could be Haywards Heath. There's hospitals there.
Haywards Heath, could be, Anyway.
What difference does it make what hospital he's in?
Because I want to know, because I did hospital radio down there for a charity.
Did you?
Yeah. And it was in, which one was it in? There's a big, Red Hill.
Red Hill?
No, there's not a hospital at Red Hill.
Maybe they just told you it was hospital radio.
No, it was somewhere around there. I did it.
What did you do for the hospital radio?
Well, what happened was this very attractive young lady, who was a 22-year-old Oxford graduate, had come back from...
Too clever for you, then.
I'll ignore that. Had come back from Oxford after getting a very brilliant degree.
Really?
And
a first?
I think she's got a high class 2-1 or something like that.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, that's not particularly brilliant.
Well, it's not bad. A 2-1 degree from Oxford University is pretty good. So anyway, Her father ran a delightful country pub in Surrey, in Stockbroker.
Everything with you is excessively either good or bad, isn't it? It's either a delightful country pub or it's filthy rags.
Anyway,
it's like one of the two.
Right,
Why can't you have something in the middle?
Okay. So anyway, what happens is I'm a patron of this pub, and the young lady.
You're a patron?
Well, I go there and spend money on food and wine, right? Okay. So I'm there one day with the family, and they used a bit more than me. It's nearer their home than mine. And they said, I can't remember the young lady's name now, which is a very lovely young lady. And I said, oh, yeah. She said, she's trying to get into your business. I said, oh, really? What are you doing? She said, oh, yes, I got my degree. And she was very modest. I said, which university to go to? She said, Oxford, actually. Oh, yeah. Like almost apologetically.
So how did you get talking to this girl?
She was waitressing in the pub that her father owns. Okay. After finishing university.
Right, okay.
Sort of filling job.
Yeah.
And
see, that's the great beauty of doing getting a 2-1 at Oxford.
Exactly.
You end up being a waitress.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what happens. You don't instantly go into work. Anyway, she wanted to be a broadcaster, even though her degree was in PPE, Politics, Philosophy and Economics.
I'm interested in how you got talking to her.
Well, because she was waitressing on the table when I was sitting eating steak and kidney pie, you idiot.
Yeah, but hang on. How do you get from I'd like a steak and kidney pie and 3 bottles of Pinot Grigio to discussing her career?
What do you never say to your waitresses? Things like, how are you doing today? Had a good day? Okay. How long have you been here? What are you doing?
No.
I do.
No.
I get interested in their lives.
Did you call her love?
What?
Did you call her love?
No, I did not. No.
Darling?
No.
Babe? How about babe?
No.
Did you call her babe?
No.
You did, didn't you?
I found out what her name was and I called her by her name.
What was her name?
I've forgotten, but I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I knew it at the time, right?
Right.
So anyway... So
did you go, I'm a very important broadcaster?
No, my sister told her that because I was dining with my sister, you see.
Right.
So,
table for 2?
No, it was table for 4. My sister, brother-in-law, me, and a fourth person, okay?
Who?
Female friend.
Friend of yours?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What was her name?
You
can't remember that either?
I can't remember that, no. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So,
it's a long story, this.
Well, if you would shut up and let me tell it, it'd be a short story.
Don't be so rude.
So what happens is... she says that she's actually wants to get into the media and all that. I said, and how far have you got? She said, well, as a matter of fact, I'm just coming to the end of my 1-year post-grad course at Red Hill Community College or something like that,
What? Red Hill Community?
Yeah, Red Hill.
What, from Oxford to Red Hill Community College?
Yes.
This story's starting to sound very fishy.
No, because they did a media degree. And I said, and what do you have to do to finish it? She said, I have to make a half-hour broadcast and submit it to get my diploma or whatever it is.
Okay.
And I said, And then my sister said, why don't you do it with her? I said, what do you mean? Oh, she said, would you please? Could I interview for half an hour?
Would you please?
Yeah.
Did she really?
Yeah. So I went along and did it, and she got her. She passed. She got the highest mark. She got the highest mark on her interview.
Did you give her an interview just about yourself?
Yes. Well, that's what she wanted. Seriously. That's what she wanted.
What was the high point of the interview? I
think it was when I told her how I managed to spit in the face of the US Air Force when they tried to bomb me to death in Libya, in Tripoli.
And did she quiz you on that as far as a proper journalist would, or did she just fall all over you and go, my parents,
well, no,
you're my hero?
No, she wanted to talk.
And where is she now, this girl?
I must admit, I don't know. But, I mean, she got her diploma in media studies in broadcast and specialised in broadcasting and has moved on.
Yeah.
She was a very brilliant young lady.
Right. And
Okay.
you didn't ask her out?
No, of course I didn't. The age gap's too massive.
Is it?
She's only 22.
Well, how old are you?
Sorry?
How old are you?
Well, I'm entering early middle age, so what?
Okay.
Huh?
By the way, it's now 14-7 to San Diego.
Ooh.
So we'll keep you updated on that. Lots more to come here on TalkSport.
The best ever DFS winter sale is now on, with savings on every sofa in store. You can choose the exact style, fabric and colour that best suits your home. And because every sofa is handmade to order and comes with a 10-year guarantee, you know your sofa will be at its best for years to come. Which sofa will you fall for in the best ever DFS winter sale? Doors open 9 a.m. Boxing Day. 0% APR representative.
We took the all-new Mitsubishi L200 Series 5 across the globe for 18 days and 4,267 miles. We conquered the Sahara Desert and the Atlas Mountains to show the world the most manoeuvrable, economic, efficient, safest and capable pickup we've ever made. The Mitsubishi L200 Series 5, showing the world how it's done. Search Mitsubishi L200 and test the best.
Make sure you're ahead of the game and listen to Kick Off on TalkSport with 888 Sport. Bet you can. Every Monday night from 7, get in-depth analysis, heavyweight pundit opinion, and outspoken fan reaction on the nation's most passionate pre-match football forum.
You won't miss a trick, flick, or kick of any of the actions.
Plus, hear the latest form and odds ahead of all the matches that matter from 888 Sports On The Ball BetSpurt. Kick off. Weeknights from 7 on Talk Sport with 888 Sport. Bet you can.
Christmas isn't just about football. There's some cricket on as well. Christmas 2015 on Talk Sport.
There will be a podcast out at some point. As I said, hopefully it will be Christmas Day, but if not, it will be out sometime over the weekend. Lord Rallo says this: what planet is old Porky on? It's unbelievable if you didn't know you're supposed to duck during a snowball fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I didn't. I used to take it in the face. And
well, you have taken it in the head, haven't you?
Yeah, I have actually, yeah.
I've got a great one here from Nick, who says he's waking up to Christmas in Bali with the 2 mice. Look at that. Wouldn't you like to be there for Christmas?
No.
What do you mean, no?
I want to be somewhere where the snow is tumbling out of the sky, where there are snowmen being built by children in the front gardens of houses, where it's minus 4 degrees, where there's a roaring log fire inside the house, where the turkey is about to be served upon the table. No, I don't want to be in Bali for Christmas. I definitely don't. I'd hate to be in Bali for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
The professor has got a picture of a very nice glass of margarita with some salt around the rim, saying plenty of margaritas today and no sight of any research students from Cambridge.
No, exactly.
Which is good.
Yeah.
NA says, Merry Christmas to you both. Thanks for keeping me company at work and during insomnia.
Good. That's what we're all about.
Good. And here's one from Kenny, who says, first football match I went to, Dundee Derby, Mark's uncle Ali, talking about Mark Donaldson, saved a penalty from Hamish to win it for the D.
Good God.
I didn't know Mark Donaldson's dad was a goalkeeper.
Into professional sport.
Uncle, rather.
Right, now listen, I want to talk to you, please, about alphabetism.
Alphabetism?
Alphabetism.
What is that?
Something that's plagued my life.
What do you mean?
Well, what I mean is that a new research paper, which I've come across, indicates that the higher up the alphabet your surname is, so like in your case you're Graham, so you're in the top half, the more advantages you have in life.
Oh yeah, that may be true,
and that people whose surnames begin in the second half of the alphabet have a much more difficult job to succeed in life than those with the A.
Well, I suppose it starts at school, doesn't it, when they're reading out the register?
Yes.
And if they get to, by the time they get to P, everybody's fallen asleep.
That's right.
Nobody cares.
But for instance, look at the world's most successful ever group.
World's most successful ever group?
Yes.
The Beatles?
Yes.
Yeah.
B.
Right?
Yeah. Have you ever heard...
Have you ever seen them listed as under T, though? As the Beatles?
No. Beatles, the.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a very successful group that began with W, V, Z or X?
ZZ Top.
Yeah, but that's only one.
Well, you just said, have you ever heard of one?
No, I don't mean that.
I just told you one.
I meant W or V.
What do you mean? What about Z? That's
no,
the last
don't worry
letter
about
of the alphabet.
Z. Don't worry about Z. That was
Willie Nelson?
A mistake. No, that's Nelson. That's N.
No, it's not. You just said it was Beatles
N.
there. No, Willie Nelson is under W.
Who was the most successful group of the 70s
Wings?
and 80s?
How about Wings?
Who was the most successful group of the 70s and 80s? ABBA.
Hang on.
ABBA begins with A.
No, so what?
2 B's in the middle and an A.
How about
ABBA,
Wizard?
Beatles.
How about Wizard?
C, right?
How about Wizard?
C.
Don't just talk across me.
How many groups do we know that begin with C?
C.
Yeah.
Well, you can think of groups that begin with anything.
And D?
I mean, there's any number of groups that start with all sorts of...
Everly Brothers. Everly Brothers.
So what?
Everly Brothers.
There's any number of groups that begin with all sorts of letters.
Listen.
How about U2?
Well, that's 2.
No, it doesn't come under 2, it comes under U.
Yeah, but the lead singer...
How about Oasis? That's at the back end of the alphabet.
The lead singer is Bono. Bono. U2 Bono.
Bono.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's B. That's B.
So what?
Now look. Anyway,
what about Sting?
Never mind.
Sting's S.
Pop groups don't count.
You didn't answer me about Wings.
What? Listen to this, right?
Yeah.
What happens is when you are...
How about Frank Zappa?
Everybody practices...
Van Morrison.
Everybody practices alphabetism.
The Who?
Everybody practices alphabetism, right? Now,
Van Halen.
Listen. Just listen, will you? Shut up. Right, now, for instance, when you go through your Christmas card list, right, you start at A. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you get down to about sort of M, N and P and all that kind of stuff, you've run out of cards, so the people down the bottom end of the alphabet don't get them.
What?
Right? They don't get them.
What do you mean they don't get them?
They just don't get them.
What? Don't get what?
How about this?
What do you mean they don't get what?
If you have friends...
What don't they get?
They don't
What don't they get?
They don't get a Christmas card because you've run out by the time you've got down the alphabet.
Well, I haven't had a Christmas card for you ever.
No,
and
no.
my name's in the top half. So what does that tell you?
But you go through your address book. Now then, when you have a dinner party, you think, who am I going to invite? And you go through the alphabet book, and you start at A, and then B, and then C, and then D. Now, the other thing is...
White Snake?
Now, the other thing is, can you just shut up for a minute? I'm not interested in pop groups. I'm not interested in talking about pop groups, right? Now, why do you think the AA called itself the Automobile Association?
Because they were an association concerned with automobiles.
Of course, your bland understanding of it.
Yeah.
The reason is because they wanted to be at the top of the telephone directory list in those days.
Well, they really put one over on the RAC, though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Even though they had the name Royal.
They did.
No, they didn't. The RAC is now a far more worthy organisation than the AA. Because the AA is now confused by people who think it's Alcoholics Anonymous.
Why do you think insurance companies like Axia call themselves Axia?
I've no idea.
Because it begins with A. And they get up the top of the alphabet, OK?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you this. Because my name is
why don't you change
Harry,
your name? Well, you could change it to Mike Harry.
No.
No, then it would be A. It would start with A.
No, because
Mike Harry.
I'm very proud of my family name. You know, it's my father's name.
Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like you'd rather you didn't have this name.
No. Now, listen, what I'm saying is, you see, all my life I've had to fight against certain things. A damaged heart. Only 1/3 of my heart works, OK? The fact that I
you're blaming this on the letter that your name begins with.
Hang on. The fact that I was born with ginger hair.
You've had a lot of problems in life.
You're right, and I've overcome most of them.
The fact that you are of diminutive stature.
The fact that I am called Parry with a P has made my battle against injustice in life a great deal more difficult than yours.
I don't agree with that.
No, it's true.
Well, you see, you once again are pouring ordure on yourself because you're always looking for some reason to be miserable.
No.
How about this from Mark, who says, Alphabetism, this theory definitely works. Just ask Mark Zuckerberg.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, he's quite a successful bloke.
Yeah, but he's self-made. He's self-made.
Well, it doesn't matter whether he's self-made.
People don't have to sort
Presumably
of...
he would have suffered the same slings and arrows as you when he was going to school and not having his name read out on the register until the end of the day.
Will you just please listen and...
This is a useless theory.
No, it's not. Alphabetism is a well-known problem.
Rubbish.
Within society. It is. Nobel Prizes, right, listen to this. More of prestigious fellowships and Nobel Prizes have been awarded to people with names above the letter N. Lower-ranked staff were much more likely to have surnames from N to Z in academic institutions.
See, what this proves to me, right, is that there's an awful lot of academics who sit around coming up with theories which are about as useful as a chocolate fire guard.
Right.
Absolutely hopeless.
Listen to this.
Absolute rubbish.
Listen to this. 20 out of the 22 prime ministers since the year 1900 have had names beginning with a letter in the top half of the alphabet.
So what?
So it's absolute proof.
No, it's not.
Absolute proof.
It's not proof at all.
Right.
It so happens, actually, that there are probably more names in the English language and in the English kind of family trees.
Yes.
If I was to ask you for this information, you no doubt couldn't supply it, whose names happen to begin with letters from the first half of the alphabet.
Listen to this. Have you ever heard of Louise?
Because, for example, let me ask you that. For example, if you were to look at a different country where names are more liberally spread out in terms of how they are spelt, you know, for example, in Ireland, many names might begin with an O or an M, right, rather than a name for a letter from earlier on. Whereas in this country, you know, you wouldn't have many people with their name beginning with O, would you?
Yeah. Why do you think a lot of people who have names that begin with a letter in the second half of the alphabet change their name to a letter beginning in the first half of the alphabet?
Can you give me one example of someone who's done that?
Yes, the very famous author Louisa Young, OK?
Yeah.
She was very conscious of the fact that Young wasn't good, so she wrote a series of internationally...
Well, she changed it to Louisa Old.
No, don't be stupid. That's O is also in the second half of the alphabet. So she wrote a series of children's books, OK?
Yeah.
They had to pick
I would have thought Young would have been a good name for that.
Just shut up. They had to pick a pseudonym because readers dislike double-authored named books. So instead of trying to put a name in front of it, and the agent and publisher were very firm. They said you must not go beyond the letter D.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, they didn't tell that to J.K. Rowling, did they?
So she
didn't do her any harm.
So her name was Charles. Sorry?
Didn't do J.K. Rowling any harm, did it?
J.
No, her name is J.K. Rowling.
The first thing that people remember about the author of the Harry Potter books is the J and the K.
Yeah.
And they're both in the top half of the alphabet,
Well, you
okay?
see, if you'd known anything about what you were talking about, you should have said Bob Dylan.
What?
You should have said Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. You're right. Zuckerman.
Yeah, you should have said Bob Dylan.
His
but
name is Zuckerman, and he's Bob Dylan. See, so you're thinking about it laterally, and you're now coming into the same theories as me.
What was his name again?
No, it wasn't Zuckerman. Zimmerman.
Zimmerman, there you
Zimmerman.
go. And how about Ultravox, says Kev?
Yes, what about him?
No, well, they were beginning with you. They were pretty successful.
Yeah. Here are 15 of the 21 men in the last England football squad had names in the first half of the alphabet.
What about Alan Shearer?
He's not in the last
What
England
about Teddy
squad.
Sheringham?
He wasn't in the last England squad.
What about Jeff Peters?
He wasn't in the last England squad. 2/3 of the last rugby squad, which failed so miserably at the World Cup.
You didn't spot
had
Jeff
names,
Peters, did you?
Had names.
Jeff Peters works at Talk Sport.
Does he? I haven't noticed. 2/3. Sorry, Jeff. 2/3 of
not very nice.
It's not very nice.
Did
no.
you fire him once?
Yeah, right. I did actually. Yeah. 2/3 of the last rugby squad names in the top half of the alphabet. Okay. Take British politics. Look at these names.
Can you look at the time
Look
instead
at
of
these
looking at all
names.
these names?
Blair, Brown.
What about
Ashdown,
Margaret Thatcher?
Clegg,
Margaret
Cameron,
Thatcher.
Miliband,
Margaret Thatcher.
Corbyn,
John Major. Corbyn.
What's your problem? He's the leader of the opposition, for goodness sake, eh?
I'm going to stop.
I don't know what's wrong with
We've got
you.
to stop. I've got a present for you soon. Sandra Lee's going to be here as well.
Excellent.
This is Talk Sport.
Talk Sport.
And it's in!
A diving header at the end of a 50-yard run.
From the root to the tip.
Talk Sport.
Better watch out, you better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
He's making a list, checking it twice.
This is Talk Sport. We are the two Mikes. Santa Claus has definitely been and gone as far as Europe is concerned. He's now visiting North America, bits of Central America as well. He's certainly been to Australia many, many hours ago. And we're going to go down and talk to Sandra Lee very, very shortly and find out what she got for Christmas. Just a couple of quick tweets for you, Mr. Parry.
Yeah.
Lord Rallo says, in reference to you saying, what about all these England players that have names from the beginning of the alphabet?
Yes.
How about Wayne Rooney, says all-time leading goal scorer?
Yes.
Wayne. Starts with a W.
Well, Rooney is only just below the halfway mark.
No, Rooney is well into the back end.
No,
What about
no.
the Rolling Stone, says Chris? And what about Barry White, says Sammy?
B for Barry.
Sinatra, says Francis. Presley, says Francis.
You're picking on exceptions to the rule, you know? I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's wrong with me. I've been hanging around with you for too long. Let's talk to Sandra Lee and wish her a very, very
Indeed.
Merry Christmas. Sandra, a very Merry Christmas to you.
Ho, 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 chaps, and Merry Christmas to you and to all of your lovely listeners.
Now,
Thank
considering
you
the
very
time
much
of day in Australia,
Remarkably
and the fact
so,
that you're, I was going to say,
Yes.
Sandra sounds very unbladderated for this time of day. Have you not been having a tipple? Hey?
No, I've had a couple of glasses of champagne, but it's good champagne, so you never get sort of, bladderated. Is that the word?
That is right.
That's the word, yes,
That is
absolutely.
right. Yeah, I was trying to remember it for my husband to say, the boys are going to ask me if I'm bladderated.
Absolutely. And have you had the old Christmas lunch yet, Sandra? Has that come at 4 o'clock like it does in England?
Yeah, no, we'll be around 3 o'clock.
Oh,
so that's
lovely.
in about another hour and a half.
Lovely.
So I'm about to pop the roast in the oven and all the roast potatoes and everything, which is crazy because
Brilliant.
it's a really warm day here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is there not an alternative kind of Christmas meal that you eat down there because you don't want to, make yourself so hot inside the house with all the ovens on?
Yes, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people go for the prawns and oysters and the seafood option, which is a nice, and considering we're on the ocean, it's a pretty good option.
Yeah, but it's not very festive, though, is it? In the sense that, I mean, you've seen a New York winter. Do you not feel more, in the spirit of Christmas and all that when there's 3 foot of snow in the ground in Connecticut than the sun blazing out of the sky?
I have to say, I really do prefer a cold Christmas with snow and all the trimmings. It's so beautiful. How can you beat that? But
Although,
apparently
funnily enough,
in New York at the moment,
Sandra, I was talking to your good friend and my sister Mari a little bit earlier on in the day, and apparently they're having a heat wave in New York as well.
Really?
So it's about 65 degrees there.
And in Moscow, by the way.
Well, I don't know anyone in Moscow. I'm talking about Connecticut.
In Moscow, the outside skiing, whatever it was, ice skating rink has melted.
Yeah.
Now, Sandra, I want to get on to a serious subject, please. I know it's Christmas Day, but this is clearly a landmark piece of legislation.
By the way, was that some kind of special code message you got from your handler in Russia?
No.
The ice rinks are melting.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, they are. Around the
you
Kremlin.
ring one of those, you have to meet him down the back of Waterloo Station.
No. I just,
ice rinks are melting.
I keep abreast of affairs in Moscow. No, Sandra, what I've come across is this, and it's Christmas Day, so people get annoyed. Apparently, if you are in Tasmania now, you cannot smoke under the age of 25.
I didn't know that.
Oh, right,
You've just informed me.
Where'd you get this rubbish from?
No. Well, OK, well, I'd let you know. No, I'm serious.
I mean, as if living in Tasmania wasn't punishment enough.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely true, yeah. But
have you ever been to Tasmania?
Have I ever been?
Yeah.
No.
It looks like a hellish place. No, I've never been there. Have you been there, Sandra?
I've been there a couple of times, and I have to say it is really, really beautiful.
Is it?
But, yeah, it is beautiful. It's absolutely, the geography of it is just glorious, it's tiny, and they do great food and wine. And do you know what? The best thing that I think of that's come out of Tasmania in the last few years, which I do know for a fact, is that they've made the best whiskey that has won the #1 prize in the world. Yeah,
in
and
the
it's
world?
called Sullivan's in the world, and it's called Sullivan's Cove, and it's a single malt. It's a single malt, not a blended one.
Yeah.
And that is the greatest sort of thing out of Tasmania lately.
I'll have to try and sample some of that. It sounds slightly sacrilegious to me with my Scottish background to be drinking whiskey from Tasmania.
Well, it does. The Scots get very upset, when people like these American whiskey distillers win awards and all that kind of stuff. They think it's wrong. OK, well, let's broaden that question then, Sandra, and say, is there, generally speaking, a bit of a sort of liberal push towards trying to stop people to smoke all over Australia like there is in this country?
Oh, my goodness, yes. It's nanny state gone crazy here. It's insane. I mean, I'm not a smoker and I've never smoked, so I don't have sort of a dog in this fight.
Yes.
But, I do appreciate people like to smoke. It's legal. There's nothing illegal about it.
Yeah.
They pay a phenomenal price to buy their cigarettes. But, yes, here it's gone crazy. You can't smoke now outside a pub.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be beyond 4 metres from the pub door before you can smoke.
Good God. 12 feet from the pub door.
Well, they started this malarkey in New York where they said if you were coming out of an office building, you had to walk basically something like, I think they were similar to 12 feet away from the front door.
But actually,
so half the time you were standing literally in the gutter of the street.
But there is a reason for that, because if you stand outside the door of a pub immediately and start smoking, it means somebody wanting to enter that premises is walking through a cloud of smoke.
Yeah, but you can't have it all ways, can you?
So I quite
no, you can't have it all ways.
that.
Well, it wouldn't happen to you because you go in under the smoke, wouldn't you?
No. Oh, yeah, that's very funny. Yeah, thank you. Now, Sandra, another very important issue has arisen since we last spoke. We've talked many, many times about shark attacks in Australia. I have become aware, talking to people who know about these things, that the sharks are getting smarter and have now perfected the art of leaping onto people's surfboards to get them.
Correct.
Thank you.
Absolutely correct.
I've got Mike Graham. I actually think that they didn't do that before.
I've got Mike Graham here sniggering and saying, "Don't be ridiculous."
It's just the image of a shark leaping out of the water.
It's happening, isn't it, Sandra?
It was already happening.
Sandra.
It did this week in Bondi, just off Bondi Beach, not far from the famous iceberg swimming pool that we've spoken about before, fellas. A shark literally jumped on a chap was on the wave, riding to surf up and sort of like launch himself onto 2 feet on his board.
Yeah.
And as he was getting up, a shark jumped under him and slid across his surfboard, literally slid across his surfboard. He kept going, went to shore and reported it, and then the sort of surf rescue went out on their jet skis and surfboats, and the helicopter came in and they chased the shark out of the surf.
Right, OK, but
and where is the shark now? I know I say this every time.
He went out to sea.
Yeah, but I want him to shoot the thing. I'd be like, shoot the thing.
He's waiting for Porky.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, you can't shoot sharks, though, can you? They're protected species.
Yeah, I know, but you should be able to. That's my point.
Yeah, I must admit, I've got some sympathy with that point of view, Sandra. If sharks kill people, why can't people kill sharks?
Well, they do.
Yeah,
there are so many. Yeah, the fishermen sort of catch sharks all the time. I'm on the side of the sharks in this one. I think if you venture into their domain, you have to take your risk.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, so which one? So you agree with her and me then?
No, I don't agree with you. I agree with Sandra.
You just said you agreed with me.
Also,
now you agree with Sandra.
No, what I'm saying is, if there is a killer shark circling around Bondi Beach,
you want to kill it.
Well, I think that one should be killed, yeah,
That one.
because then that will...
Well, Sandra doesn't think that,
No,
so
but
you
the
can't agree with her and me.
The message will then get back to the family of sharks that shark belongs to.
How will the message get back?
Oh, that sharks can talk to each other through mental telepathy, can't they?
Mental telepathy?
I think they can,
As
can't
opposed
they,
to any
Sandra?
other kind?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they send, like, radio waves to each other.
Well, not if he's dead, he can't, can he?
Well, I think his last call before
The
he
last
actually
call?
would be...
I'm trying to make a last call.
Yeah, get away from Bondi.
Trump
yeah,
call?
Yeah,
Talking
that's right.
about?
It sounds like your radio show.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Sandra,
What's
this
that
is a
shark
serious
doing?
conversation.
Why is there a shark in the phone box?
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
what Sandra
Yeah.
doesn't know this yet, but I'm about
Yeah.
to tell her
Right.
that we've sent her by normal post. I don't know how long it's going to take.
No, not all post, by airmail.
Well, normal post is airmail
No,
to Australia.
Speed airmail.
Well, it's not speed airmail.
Well, we sent it fast, okay?
Well, anyway, we're sending you a copy of our DVD, Sandra, because we
Yes.
thought you might listen to it. Now, I don't watch it even, but I don't know whether you've got one of those all areas DVD players, because you might not be able to watch it in an Australian TV one.
No, I'm sure we have, and I'm married to an absolute technology geek, so
Excellent.
he will manage to work it out for us.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure he
now,
will.
I should warn you that
Excellent.
it contains some obscenities and explicit swear words.
Well, actually, Sandra, don't worry too much. The biggest obscenity is Mike Graham's face. Believe me. I tell you what, I tell you what to do, Sandra. You know why we're sending it to you? You know, at this time of year, you get these nosy neighbours who come around, and you can't get rid of them. All you do is put in our Two Mikes DVD on live, the show, put it on. After 5 minutes, they'll have fled through the door when they've heard what he's got to say.
Yeah.
Believe me.
You want to carry on with this, or shall we instead leap to a story about how you tried to seduce Sandra in the Essex House Hotel?
Oh, what a ridiculous statement.
Shall we jump to that one instead?
What a ridiculous
Oh,
statement.
sorry, I must have been confusing you with somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what nonsense you talk.
Unsuccessfully, I hasten to add.
What a nonsense you talk. Do you think Sandra would be coming onto the radio every couple of weeks to talk to me as a top professional in my business if I was some sort of sleazebag?
Of course
I don't
not.
think so.
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
Now, Sandra, what are you doing for the rest of the Christmas? Have you got, family over? What's going on?
Yes, we've already been visiting friends and family this morning and having champagne, which is always a good start to the day. And
Excellent.
we're going to have a beautiful sort of, the full trimmings and roast lunch later on.
Mhm.
And then we're going to go visiting later in the evening to sort of just round out the day.
And what about presents? Because, there's a big... I mean, I find myself every single year with the kids going, we really mustn't spend all this money on the kids. They've got far too much stuff already. Every year they get way too much stuff again. Not just from me and their mother, but from, their auntie and
then
their
you buy them a
grandma.
load
But
more.
it's beautiful,
And
auntie.
Yeah, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, the amount of stuff. I mean, you haven't got kids, so do you kind of try and ease back a little bit on the buying of presents, or do you, what sort of stuff do you do?
Absolutely. We have a no present policy in our family, as small as it is, yeah. And even with I've got four beautiful godsons, and I just tell them they're not getting anything until they all turn 21 when I've got trust funds set up for them. So that's their
very
Christmas
nice.
present every year.
Yeah.
So we don't do presents. We don't need anything. We've got everything. When you're happy and you have somebody who you love and who loves you, that's enough.
Yeah, no,
Porky's starting to look a little puce at that. I don't think he knows what you're talking about.
No, I totally agree, Sandra. The only thing is, I have a mother now of a certain age, and she's always, I don't want you to buy me anything for Christmas. Now, come on, we've all got plenty in life. You don't need to waste money. Comes to Christmas morning, no present for Mum. Oh, my God, what, the world's ended. Well, where's my present? So, you said not to buy anything. And, of course, she didn't mean it. So, anyway, I get her a case of sherry every year, and that keeps her happy. By 3 o'clock
I was going to say... That's perfect. A case of sherry is perfect. Or a box of those beautiful Walker's shortbreads.
Oh, yeah, Walker's shortbreads. Or a box of lovely Belgian chocolates. Or the Rocco, what are they called? The
Rocco?
No, what's the, the ones that had the shortage of last year.
They didn't have a shortage of them.
What are they called? Ferrero Rocher. Do you have those in Australia, Sandra?
Yeah, I love those. I'm a bit partial.
What do you
to
think?
chocolate.
She lives in Timbuktu or something?
No, you idiot.
South Sudan.
No, they might be
We've
called...
still got an outside dunny.
No, don't be ridiculous. All I'm saying is different parts of the world have different persuasions to the things they like, to the sweetmeats. Simple as that.
Well,
right.
Anyway, listen, Sandra, thank you so much for sparing some time for us on a very, very busy family day, and have a wonderful Christmas, and we'll speak to you soon.
We hope we will, Sandra.
It's been an absolute pleasure, chaps, and I wish you both a very, very Merry Christmas, and to all of your wonderful listeners, and a safe and happy New Year.
Thank you very much indeed, Sandra. Always a pleasure to speak to a lady of such sophistication.
I know, absolutely. Now, Chris says this. The Yardbirds, Neil Young, Stevie Wonder, Muddy Waters, The Temptations, Wham.
Yes.
This is Talk Sport.
Forget the turkey curry. Tuck into some Barclays Premier League on BT Sport instead. Enjoy a double helping on Boxing Day. Newcastle will be hungry for a win against Everton, then savour Southampton Arsenal. Over the coming month, we've got 12 big games, including Man United against Chelsea and Liverpool Arsenal in the Barclays Premier League, plus 3 FA Cup games, including Man United against Sheffield United. Treat yourself this Christmas. Get BT Sport and BT Broadband together from only £9.50 a month.
Plus BT line £17.99 a month. 12-month contracts. Prices may change. Intro offer ends 31st of March. BT Broadband £13 per month from month 13. New BT Broadband customers payable by direct debit £6.95 hub delivery. Terms apply.
Hey, should we get takeaway from Just Eat tonight?
Oh, do you know what? I need a Balti! I'm holding out for a multi-lamb ticket tonight. It's gotta be hot, and it's gotta be fresh, and it's gotta have mushroom fried rice.
Just Eat. Tap the app and get that mini fist pump feeling.
He's got the numbers on the players, the triumphs and defeats. Got the form on the football weekend and the rumors on the streets. Get all the stats and all the facts with his football form report. Stay on the ball on Friday night with Sky Bet and Talk Sport.
Get unmissable analysis and expert soccer speculation on all the weekend's big games. Stay on the ball on Kickoff the Players Lounge on Talk Sport with Sky Bet. It's betting better. Check out the latest price boosts now at skybet.com or download
Christmas
the app.
2015 on Talk Sport. Festive football. Fans and phone calls.
What do you think of Super Trump?
Ho, ho, ho.
This is Talk Sport. We are the two Mikes. The Porky Quiz is looming large. It's on the
Yes.
Three Wise Men coming up in the next hour.
Yes.
And we've also got to do the predictor stuff for Boxing Day as well.
Yes, OK.
But may I take this opportunity
Yeah.
to offer you another gift? Well, never mind looking at it.
Well, hang on. Is it a proper gift?
It's a gift.
What is it?
It's another gift. Look, I brought this for you. I know it's not exactly the right type that you normally have.
This is ludicrous.
Why?
I've just been presented with a packet of Tesco wafer-thin honey roast ham.
It's not lean ham. They didn't have any. They were all out of it.
Used by 30th of December. British pork.
You said you loved honey roast ham just the other day.
And it says any two for £3. So this costs about £1.70.
Well, I had to give the other one to somebody else.
This is pathetic. Has this been injected with strychnine?
Yes. No, of course it hasn't been injected with strychnine. I bought it for you.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You wouldn't have bought this.
I bought this for
Why
you
would
today.
You do that?
Because I thought I'd get you another gift. I've tried giving you a game. I tried giving you a calendar. I tried giving you a can of Red Bull. Today, I'm going to try with some ham.
I'm not having your scrawny little ham in a.
There's nothing wrong with the ham.
In a hermetically sealed plastic container.
A what?
Hermetically sealed.
You mean hermetically sealed?
Hermetically sealed. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Do I think of your ham?
What are you going to do with it? That's a shocking reaction. He's just thrown the ham.
Yeah, against the studio
Against
wall.
the wall.
Because there's a catch here somewhere. There always is.
There is no catch.
Who else on earth would buy...
You aimed that at my head like you were with the snowballs.
No. Who else on earth would buy their working colleague a lousy packet of £1.70 ham?
Well, as I said, I've tried with a calendar. I gave you a game before.
Why is that ham in the studio? Who sent it to you?
Nobody sent it to me. I bought it.
Rubbish.
Of course I bought it.
You
I went
haven't
out.
been in
I told
Tesco's
you
today.
I went out to
You haven't
Tesco's
been in
earlier.
Tesco's.
Yes, I did. I went out. I told you I went out earlier today to pick up a few bits and pieces that are needed
Honestly.
for the for the general
I'm beginning
Christmas
to wonder
dinner.
where you come from. Now then, I want to tell you about a situation which I predicted months ago, and you will even admit I did. Didn't I tell
Haven't
you?
you got a gift for me?
No.
I thought you were joking when you said you didn't have one.
No, I haven't got a
You
gift
got
for
nothing at all?
No.
So you brought me nothing?
Nothing. Why are you looking like that?
Have you bought anything for any of the people that work on the show?
No.
Why not?
I feel that patronage like that is misplaced and can be misinterpreted.
What, for somebody who might think you're a nice bloke?
No. They may think that my motives are not genuine and solid, OK?
All right.
I believe the reward in doing a good job is in doing that job, and I don't believe you need anything else to endorse it.
What about friendship? Brotherhood?
Friendship.
Fraternity?
Friendship has to be put on hold in the workplace because
Well,
the
that's a coincidence because it's been put on hold in your life for the last 30 years. You haven't got any friends. No wonder. No wonder.
That's not true.
No wonder.
Everybody has a limited number
I hope
of
somebody
friends.
breaks into your car and steals all your presents.
I'll kill them if anything happens like that tonight. Right? That would ruin my weekend.
The Christmas spirit is alive and well.
Yeah.
Now, people who may have joined the show late
Yes.
may not know that we had a snowball fight earlier.
Yes.
It's visible on Two Mics TV. I'll tweet it out again in a little while, but we did tweet it out earlier.
How many people have been watching this?
I don't know. I was the victor by 7-2, but somebody who has watched it,
right?
I'm going to tell you now, is our good friend Steve Lillywhite, Grammy award-winning producer.
Indeed.
Right? Not only has he watched it, he's just subscribed to Two Mics TV. He says, no gerrymandering involved in the snowball fight. You won it fair and square.
Yeah.
That's what he says to me.
Yeah. Well, he's a friend of yours, isn't he?
Well, yeah.
Well, that says everything. That says everything.
Well, he is actually somebody who can, cut away the wheat from the chaff. And see that you are, in fact, a remorselessly hopeless individual.
Well, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. Now, what I wanted to tell you was this: I've got this report that I've had in. Now, haven't I told you in the past that whilst dogs are lovely and cuddly and all that kind of stuff, we all love a dog.
Yeah.
Cats are evil.
You think cats are evil? Yeah, I know that.
Right. Listen to this: colonies of up to 50 feral cats.
Feral.
Feral cats
Feral?
are causing major problems in the quaint and ancient city of Cambridge.
Cambridge?
No joke. Cambridge, one of the most affluent cities in this country, is being besieged by groups of wild cats.
Wild cats?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No, not usually associated with the setting in which they have set up camp, so to speak, right?
Well, why are there so many cats there? Do you know what I think? Maybe they're the spawn of that... do you remember that cat that had TB that was last seen running up the M1?
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder if it's anything to do with him.
I don't know. It says here, volunteers are having to be called out on a regular basis to deal with animals which are often domestic pets that have escaped.
Yeah.
And having not been neutered, have had families which then grow up feral. Right?
Feral?
Yeah. Now then, there's a group called Cambridge Cats Protection, and their chief is a lady called Lena Orfino Allen, right?
Who?
Lena Orfino Allen.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah. She says there are parts of Cambridge that have a major feral cat problem.
Feral?
Just shut up, will you?
Well, it's feral.
Feral is Will Ferrell, the actor. These cats are feral.
And that's feral.
Right, now then, people are just not neutering their cats and they get out and wander. Many people could be living near feral cats, possibly, without even knowing it.
Well, surely if they're that horrible, you would know it.
Well, apparently not. It says, now there's another organisation called the Cats Protection Branch, and their coordinator is Nikki, that's a lady, Townley. She said during the summer, we got two... Sorry, what are you laughing for? What are you laughing for?
What does it make whether she's a man or a woman?
Because, people get confused with the name Nikki.
Well, it doesn't matter, though, does it?
But
she could be a woman or a man, doesn't make any odds.
It doesn't matter. You have to give an image of, of
well,
the
because
person.
you think any person in charge of cats must be a woman.
No,
that's what you think.
No, don't be ridiculous.
That is what you think.
Right, 2 or 3 call-outs a week to assist with animals. We have been run ragged.
2 or 3 call-outs a week, we've been run ragged.
Yeah.
What sort of organisation is this?
You won't see feral cats.
Feral?
They only come out... How about this? This is the really frightening thing. 2
or 3 call-outs a week?
Yes.
That's like saying... That's like the police say, we can't handle it.
Yeah.
We've had 2 call-outs this week.
Yeah, but listen, you'd understand. Guess when the call-outs come?
I don't know. Middle of the night?
Yes. They say they only come out in the middle of the night looking for food. And we're often only alerted to them...
They are nocturnal, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, it's not very surprising.
And we are often only alerted to them when groups of kittens suddenly appear. OK?
Well, how else would they be alerted to it?
Miss Townley said people sometimes bought kittens as gifts, particularly at Christmas, and they're often thrown out because their owners cannot look after them. Feral cats are extremely resourceful. They will do what they can to find food and dry places to sleep, but kittens need shelter. What's your problem? Right?
I don't know why you're shouting. Well, what you're describing is the behaviour of any normal cat. Cats, of course, go looking for food.
Yeah.
Cats, of course, go looking for shelter.
Yeah.
But cats
these feral cats,
they're
man...
feral.
They pose a risk, not to humans, but there is a... What is your problem?
What do they pose a risk to,
They pose a risk of transferring their hideous diseases to other animals. What is your problem?
So what?
Well, we don't want a load of feral dogs all manched up, do we?
Feral.
If the feral cats infect the dogs, we've got mangy dogs then all over the place.
Mangy dogs?
Mangy. and they could infect anything. Apparently, hedgehogs,
apart from humans,
hedgehogs, tortoises, anything.
What do you think some feral hedgehogs would be like?
Well, not very pleasant in my view.
They'd run ragged, the old Hedgehog Protection League, wouldn't they?
It's pointless talking to you about animal welfare because you have such a ridiculous attitude towards it.
Oh, God, I can't even see to read some of these things out.
Yeah.
Matt says, I'm disgusted. How dare Mike Graham buy Porky something that wasn't in a tin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's in a plastic... I tell you what, it's in a plastic container, but it's not a plastic container now. It's on the floor.
Jag says, Tesco ham isn't good enough for Cheshire snob Mike Parry. MG should have gone for the Merc version.
No.
#plank.
No, actually, I tell you, and this is no joke, I use Tesco's all the time. I am a man of the people.
Well, why don't you want the ham then?
And Tesco's used to be run by my very good friend Sir Terence Leahy.
Yeah, but why don't you want the ham then?
And ever since he's left, by the way, it's... it's taken a bit of a downturn in my view.
Geordie says on your Alphabetism thing about the... what was that insurance company you named?
Hey?
The insurance company, what was the name of it?
What insurance company?
The one that you said made their name Axia or something like that.
Oh, yeah, Axia. Axia. AXIA.
Why would you put an X for your second letter of your name? Anyone would have another second letter if Porky was right.
Well, it's A up there. By the way, 302 people have now viewed the indoor snowball fight.
Oh, good.
It's very good.
Why can I hear music or something in the background?
Because it just suddenly...
Are you playing the video?
It just
you are, aren't you?
It activated itself on my information device. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Now,
I was looking up for the number and it suddenly appeared.
Now, we're coming near the end of this particular hour.
Yes.
And let me read you a couple of... There's one particular sad little one I want to read out to you. Not terribly sad.
Well, I don't like sadness
on
Christmas Day.
Sometimes you need to think about these things. And
okay.
It's from Scott and his son Lewis, right?
Yes.
And he says, "Hi, the two Mikes. Merry Christmas to both of you. Thank you for raising my spirits during a difficult time as I lay in a hospital bed next to my sick 2-year-old boy. 2 heart surgeries and a stomach surgery in his young life has left me close to rock bottom, but thanks to you two, I can still manage to smile and laugh." Now, Scott, I mean, I can't imagine what he must be going through.
Do we know which part of the world we're talking about here?
He doesn't say, unfortunately.
No, okay.
But all the best to you, Scott, and to your son Lewis, because unfortunately, at this time of year, there are people who are in those kinds of difficult situations.
Well, look, that's so sad. And the gentleman's name again?
Scott.
Scott. It's very sad indeed, and we obviously wish you the very, very best. There can't be a worse nightmare for a parent than to find they've suddenly got a child beset with health problems.
Yeah.
All I want to say is. When I did the Bournemouth thing recently, and obviously it provoked a lot of laughter and and debate and all that, which is great because it gave it a wider publicity.
Sure.
But at the end of it, I was able to help with the Bournemouth club charity. And
that's a children's charity, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's called Julia's House.
Yeah.
And what it's about is enabling parents to stay overnight and for days and for weeks and for months if necessary with their children.
Right. Which is not always easy to do.
Well, it's almost impossible in hospitals. There's the space or the facilities to do it. Where do the parents go to have a shower and all this kind of stuff? But these are specially designed. So, it is a vital resource that we need, within our community to help parents be next to their children.
Yeah.
And in fact, actually, we shouldn't really mention huge names and all that, but Ronald McDonald is the charity of McDonald's organisation. I've bought a couple of things off them because they're big into football memorabilia and all that. And again, a lot of that money goes to a very similar organisation.
Yeah.
It's a vital facility. Yeah. It really is. It changes a parent's life when they've got a sick child.
Sure.
So very good.
Yeah, right. So, Scott, all the best to you and to anyone else who's out there, because a lot of people do listen to this show who are not having the greatest of times. But
exactly.
Hopefully we will cheer you up some more coming up in the next hour, because the Porky Quiz is coming up on the Three Wise Men. I hope you've been boning up on the research.
I don't need to. I didn't need to. I've been brought up with it. Been brought up with the story.
Independent quizmasters have, I think, searched high and low.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's not an easy subject to ask questions on.
Sure.
So we shall see how much research you have done.
Okay.
Lots more to come. No gift,
I didn't need
obviously.
to do any research. I've just told you. I've been brought up with the story since Sunday school. I used to go to Sunday school from the age of 4.
Really?
Yeah.
For how many years?
Oh, I don't know, about 6, I suppose. Something like that.
4 to 10.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. That's all coming up in the next hour, plus an awful lot more. Nothing from the newspapers this morning, because, of course, there aren't any newspapers this morning. The one day of the year that there aren't any newspapers. So, very good day for Louis van Gaal to prepare for the Stoke game at the weekend. We'll do the predictor as well. We've got to do the predictor for the football for Boxing Day as well.
We'll do that briefly.
We will.
Do it too long, it becomes rather boring.
You can't do anything briefly.
On DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM.
The pressure's on now.
Relieve the itch. Talk Sport.
This is Talk Sport. We are the two mics. I'm trying to find out when the podcast is likely to be uploaded, and I'm told, certainly very reliably, that it may be not uploaded until probably Boxing Day. But we'll do our best to get somebody. The problem is it needs to have somebody in from the digital team. We're not sure anybody's going to be here during the day on Christmas Day. So if it can be done remotely, we will try our best to get that done. Now, I haven't given you any updates on Santa throughout the course of the night, because I've been tracking him, of course, on the NORAD Santa tracker.
Yes, how's that going?
Guess where he's going in 1 minute 49 seconds. He's going to be in Havana, Cuba. And it's
Cuba.
Now, the last place he went to... This is a bit controversial.
Remember that song?
Yeah, I remember that song, yeah.
Who did that?
I can't remember who
Cuba.
did it. I can't remember.
Anyway, go on,
But I can remember the song. The last place that Santa has visited, and this could be seen as controversial, is Guantanamo.
Guantanamo.
Is there anybody left in Guantanamo?
Haven't they just released the Brit who was there for 14 years?
They certainly have, yeah. Yeah, he's in line for a massive payout.
So I think I read 9 pages of his story in a Sunday newspaper last weekend or something.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to be a very pleasant experience.
No, I'm sure it wasn't. Did you see that story tonight, by the way? There's a whole load of former African sort of immigrants who won the Spanish lottery.
No.
They were rescued in the Mediterranean in 2007.
Yeah.
Because they were
from a sinking boat or something?
Like that, yeah. And there's a whole load of them bought tickets in the south of Spain.
Yeah.
And one particular guy has won about 4 million.
Well, good for him.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, talk about rags to riches.
I know.
Blimey.
I know.
Yeah,
incredible
terrific.
story. Absolutely incredible story. Now, a couple of tweets and emails to read out to you.
Yep.
Here's one from somebody who is sending this as a PS. Oh, hang on. How about, it's, who is it? Scouser. He's sitting on the Woodside Ferry overlooking the Mersey, he says.
Oh, right.
Mr. Parry says, what about Rod Stewart, the Osmonds, Queen? And then he says,
Well,
and then
hang
PS,
on.
I suppose Zinedine Zidane couldn't kick snow off a rope either.
Hang on, there are a few exceptions to the rule.
A few
There are a few exceptions to the rule, but, can I just tell you that, the theory was put forward by Cambridge academics, and therefore, was it? Or was that the other one? No, it wasn't Cambridge academics. No, they were involved with feral cats, weren't they?
Justin from Waltham Abbey says, great show as always, guys. Most of the time I actually agree with Porky, but not giving a present to Mr. Graham is really, really terrible, he says. Anyway, I hope you crack the quiz later.
It's not. The guy's never given me anything of any value, of any worth.
That's not true.
I've given hundreds of presents
I've actually
to his
got another
children
present.
over the years.
I've got another present here.
Well, I don't want it, thanks.
You don't want this one?
What is it?
Look at this. These you will definitely want.
Tunnock's tea case.
Yeah.
Now,
not in any way injected with strychnine or strychnine or anything else. Poisonous nature.
I actually had a picture of a box of these when we went to Glasgow.
I saw that.
To promote our trip up there.
Yeah.
And when was it the Commonwealth Games in Edinburgh?
They were in Glasgow.
In Glasgow, that's
2014.
right. And in 2014, a load of young ladies dressed with Tunnock tea cake skirts.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
No.
Yeah, to promote the, to promote...
What's a Tunnock tea cake skirt? Do you mean a tartan skirt?
No, a Tunnock tea cake skirt.
Well, how does that work?
Well, look at the Tunnock tea cake.
Yeah.
And imagine it being, a hoopla...
Like, what, you mean a red and silver affair?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a miniskirt?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's the wrong shape, though, isn't it?
No, it's not. To promote the culture of Scotland. So that's how important Tunnock tea cakes are. I would accept this gift, thank you.
Well, you will accept it.
I will accept it, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Because I
knew I'd get something in the end that you would accept.
No, the box is sealed.
Yeah.
Hasn't been broken
into. The ham
into.
was sealed.
No, the ham's dodgy.
Yeah.
Ham's dodgy. And also, do you know why that ham is dodgy?
Why?
Because it's been out of a fridge for a number of hours now.
Not many hours.
And therefore... My suspicion is it's already gone off.
Well, no,
and that's why I would not touch it.
The thing with ham is if it starts to go off, you can see it becomes discoloured.
Well, I'm sorry, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you keep ham in a fridge, not a freezer, obviously, because that frees it, but you keep it in cold temperatures, and that's been in warm temperatures, because it's warm in this studio. That's another reason why I would not touch it with a barge pole, OK?
Les in Manchester says,
yes?
Mike G, please read out these artistes from the latter end of the alphabet. XTC,
we've had all this.
Yarborough, Peoples, the Yardbirds, Yazoo, Yaz, Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
The Michael Zager Band.
Thank you.
Lena Zavaroni, I'm not sure that counts.
No,
and
neither
the Zombies.
Neither am I.
The Zombies.
Yeah, OK, all right. Them? Listen, did you go to an all-boys school?
I did go to an all-boys secondary school.
Yes,
I went to a mixed primary school.
Yeah, which of the two did you prefer?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, in which did you feel most comfortable? with yourself?
Well, that's a stupid question.
No, it's not a stupid question.
When I was in primary school, I was a child.
Yes.
As I was in secondary school, I became a man.
Would you have preferred to have been in a mixed school in your secondary education?
I don't think so, no.
No?
No, I quite liked my all-boys school.
Okay, because the King's School Chester, when I was there, was an all-boys school, but it's now a co-ed school.
But did you not have a mixed sixth form or something?
No, that came after I left.
Did it?
That would have been great, actually, because I think young ladies,
well, you would have been very
of high
distracted,
intelligence are very attractive.
Can you imagine? You would have spent all your time trying to impress the ladies, and running around in other people's cars, trying to make sure you could get them into the top discos in town.
I just think
get served in all the cocktail bars.
I think women are good at sort of spotting, leaders of men.
Yeah, I think
spotting,
they are.
People who make a difference.
That's why you haven't got one.
But the reason I ask is, do you know what Rodine is?
Rodine, yeah, yes. It's a girls' school.
Well, it's not. It's the top girls' school.
Well, it's an all-girls school.
It's the top.
How is that? What do you mean it's top? When you say top?
It's the best all-girls school in this country.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's a private school, right?
I've been there.
Which bills itself. Why have you been there?
I'm trying to remember why I went there. I don't know, but I went to a meeting at Rodine.
Why?
Because it's perched on a cliff above Brighton, It's a very imposing building.
Yeah, I mean, I've met people...
It was some football thing, actually.
I've met people that have gone there.
Yeah.
And as you might expect, they're rather stuck-up types.
Well, they're not stuck-up types. They're just sophisticated, they're wealthy, they're educated, and you're envious of them, you're envious of everybody who's made something of their lives.
The thing you don't understand about me, I do not suffer from envy.
Yeah,
you're the one that suffers from envy, because you wish that you were born into the upper classes. Yeah. That's what you've wished all your life. Yesterday you were going on about what a great picture of those kids coming out of the Cambridge school.
What's wrong with that?
Their top hats.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
And their cloaks.
But they were...
Because that's what you wish you were.
They were Cambridge King's choristers. These are top young people.
You feel resentment for not ever being born into that class.
If I felt resentment, surely I'd be the other way. Sure, I'd be mocking them and I'd be a class warrior saying they shouldn't be allowed to dress like that.
Not at all. No, because that's one other way to react. But the way that you react is to try and become part of the petty bourgeois and pretend that you would like to be like them.
Okay, now guess why I'm talking to you about Rodine?
I've no idea.
Because many schools, which were all-male schools, have gone co-educational to admit ladies, including, actually, Marlborough, right?
Yeah.
Marlborough, of course, we had a mate living in Marlborough.
It doesn't have girls.
No, Eton doesn't accept girls.
And Harrow, I don't think, does either.
No, Harrow doesn't either. But Marlborough suddenly did, and in fact, one of the girls who went there, I think, was the Duchess of Cambridge.
Oh, yeah? I
think so. Prince Williams, Kate.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Yeah, she went there, I'm sure. But anyway, the reason I'm telling you this...
Well, she went initially to somewhere in Berkshire. Because I met somebody
the other week.
she
ended up at Marlborough.
Yeah, maybe. She did end up somewhere, but you may be right. But I know that because I met somebody else who was at school with her at the previous one in Berkshire.
Okay.
I'm very much against public schools, as I've told you before.
I'm not. They produce the best people.
No, they don't.
Oh, without shadow of a doubt,
rubbish.
They do.
You're such a snob.
And what I was going to say is, it's a beautiful school. I've been to Marlborough, looked around the grounds and all that kind of stuff, right? But our mate in Marlborough, who was in fact an employee of the Daily Express, his lad didn't go to Marlborough School. His lad went to the local comprehensive, but still managed to get into St John's College, Cambridge, where he got an excellent degree in classics, Greek and Latin.
Yeah, so that's useful, isn't it?
Yeah, very useful.
Well, what do you do with that then? What do you mean very useful?
Why are you mocking him? He's my godson.
Well, I'm saying, what's the point of getting a degree in Latin and Greek?
Because if you can think like that...
Well, what does he do with it?
He's now in a highly successful publishing executive with a top international publishing company.
Of course.
Yes.
All these these kind of
I'm
ridiculous...
just telling you the truth. Anyway.
All these ridiculous, flowery...
Hang on, I'm trying to get round to why I'm telling you about...
company, executive, exclusive...
That's right, yeah.
how about he just has a job in publishing?
I'm trying to tell you why I'm talking about Rodine. Rodine, for the first time... it seems, are going to start admitting boys.
Yeah.
So this is a reverse of the usual equation. This is a top girls' school now saying we're going to admit boys. Now, when I said
they must be failing then if they're doing that.
No.
Well, why are they doing it?
Coming into the modern world. Now, what I was going to say to you was this, right? If they admit boys into their sixth form, how is it going to feel for half a dozen young men, who are just maturing into men at the age of sort of 16, 17, with 600 girls?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's a terrible imbalance.
How do you know that that's going to be the case?
Well, it's going to be the case. That's the plan.
Are they only letting that many in?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I think it's going to be sort of, an initial group of 12 or 20 or something like that. But, I mean, that to me seems, that could really destabilise a young kid's mind. Do you see what I mean?
Well, it might destabilise you.
No.
But since these are top people,
Yes.
I'm sure they'll be able to handle it.
Well, you know, surrounded by all
top
those
people.
And by the way,
always get everything right.
have
don't
you
they?
noticed how the girls in the sixth form at top schools always look fantastically good looking? You know
What?
what I mean? You know, when I went to the King's School Chester when I was 16, 17, the girls at the Queen's School were the best looking girls around. You see?
Well,
they just were. I don't know why.
Well,
they just
not
were.
every school has the greatest looking girls, and what the difference does it make how good looking they are?
Well, it's important. You get on in life. Better looking people get better jobs.
Is that what you also resent?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think
You're
that's
not
the way
exactly
it should
one of
be.
the world's greatest looking men, are you?
I was a very fine-looking young man.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, the pictures that we posted on Facebook and earlier, and as now appear in our live show, you were quite a good-looking young man.
That's
I don't know where it all
right.
went wrong.
Yeah.
Now, at the moment, I don't wish to be crude.
Right.
However, I'm going to read you out a text here from Kev in North Shields.
Well, yeah,
which
this is a family show.
Yeah, it's a family show, but I have to say this is the text of the night so far.
Right.
He says, work finished, kids' presents wrapped, wife Rogerised, time for bladderation. Isn't that great? I mean, that to me sums up Christmas.
Dear.
Says, thanks for a great year, the two Mikes. Come back to Newcastle soon. I think that's terrific.
I think it's a bit over.
That tells you what life is in this country in 2015 Christmas.
He really didn't need to know about the intimacy of his
Well, at least it's his own wife.
Yes.
You know. This is Talk Sport.
When it's stepdad.
I'm going to prove to you that I'm the best.
Versus dad.
Looks like we got ourselves a dad off.
They'll have to prove which dad knows best.
Honey, you got it going on. Yeah, I got it going way on.
Critics are calling Daddy's Home hilarious. Wahlberg and Farrell are comedy magic.
Ow! Did you just punch me in the face, Brad? Ow, yes.
The Sun says it's home to plenty of family-sized laughs.
Who wants goodnight tickles? Goodnight back scratches. Who wants $20? What?
Daddy's Home in cinemas everywhere Boxing Day.
It's a radiator. An umbrella. And a taxi. A shopping trolley. Santa's sleigh. An office.
I just parked up.
And a karaoke booth.
Your car is a lot of things at this time of year. Treat it to Esso Synergy Supreme Plus and get double club card points. Engineered by the team that also fuels the McLaren Honda Formula One team. Esso. Energy lives here. Available at participating Esso service stations only. See esso.co.uk for details.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on Talk Sport with the Ford Ranger. It's the breakfast show that doesn't compromise on delivering the biggest names from the world of sport.
That's the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 a.m. on Talk Sport. Don't miss it.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Weekday mornings from 6 on Talk Sport with the Ford Ranger. Ruthlessly tested across the harshest terrain on Earth. Find out more at Ford.co.uk. Christmas 2015 on Talk Sport. Don't worry, it'll be over soon. This is Talk Sport.
The boys of the NYPD chorus will sing Go Away, and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day.
Hey, by the way, have you noticed that Alan, what's his name, the manager of Newcastle, has started wearing glasses?
He's manager of Crystal Palace.
Manager of Crystal Palace has started wearing glasses.
I mean, I wonder if...
people do this, you know, to make themselves look more intelligent.
You know, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I mean, these glasses that I wear, lots of people have started wearing these types of glasses, like very thick-rimmed glasses.
Yeah, I know,
because they think it makes them look more studious or something like that.
No,
I'm not one of them, by the way.
I think it makes you look more comical. I think you're a comical face. Because they're what I would call the Morecambe and Wise glasses, or certainly the Eric Morecambe glasses, yeah.
Well,
I wear glasses with no frame whatsoever.
But
so
you don't wear the
become...
glasses that you should wear when you can't see anything.
Yeah, but he looks totally different, Alan Pardew, with those glasses.
He does, yeah.
On. He looks like a different man.
Well, maybe he doesn't wear them at the pitch side in case the ball hits him or something.
Yeah, well, maybe,
Maybe he wears them otherwise.
Yeah.
Now, just before we do the predictor for Boxing Day, what I have to say is that the predictor that I've got in front of me on the computer actually includes all next week's games as well.
Oh.
But I don't think we need to do those because we're going to be on the mid-morning show on Monday. Return to the mid-morning show for the first time in about, 5 years?
Yes, that's right.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah.
So I think what we might have to do is submit all of our predictions on Monday, but today just do the Boxing Day ones.
Well, I think we should, I think we should.
I don't think we want to go through all of them now.
No, we don't.
It'll take too long.
I
And
totally
if
agree.
I can just read one more thing, and I'm sorry to do this, but Louis and his dad, Scott,
Yes.
have just sent us another tweet in, by the way. Thanks for that, gents. Me and Louis are in Grimsby, he says, after being in Leeds for a week. Whilst in Leeds, we stay at a house part of the Sick Children's Trust. They do amazing work for families. This is something we regularly raise money for. Luckily, Louis is on the mend, and my thoughts are with families that have it harder than we do at this time.
Yeah, well, I'm delighted to hear that
Scott, thanks for that.
Little lad's getting better, and thanks for letting us know. And please keep us in touch.
Yes, do.
Yeah.
Now, let's hit it off with the first game of the weekend, which is Stoke City against Manchester United. Much heralded, much talked about.
Indeed.
Louis van Gaal supposedly may lose his job if it doesn't go well for Man United.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney's issued a rallying cry.
Yeah.
Is he even playing?
Well, we don't know yet. I think Stoke City will win 2-1.
Yeah. I'm going to say that
United will rally.
I'm going to say that United will rally. Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that, but they'll let in at least one goal. I'm going to say it's 2-1 to United.
Yeah.
Although, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to say 1-1 because it's going to be one of those results that nobody's going to be able to make up their minds about, and he'll still have his job.
I just think he's on such a downer now. I just don't think he can recover. But anyway, go on.
Now, the Battle of the Claret and Blues, 3 o'clock Saturday. Aston Villa against West Ham United.
Yeah, Aston Villa, West Ham United. Can't see Villa getting another point this season, so I'm going to have to say West Ham will bring themselves out of their temporary slump, and that's going to be Aston Villa 1, West Ham 3.
So I think Aston Villa are going to win a game soon. I'm going to say Aston Villa 1, West Ham 0.
Okay.
Next game up is Bournemouth against Crystal Palace. Alan Pardew, will he be wearing his new glasses?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a very exciting game, that, because both teams are on the crest of a wave at the moment, and with home advantage, Bournemouth, I think, could do it 2-1.
I'm going the other way, 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Chelsea against Watford.
Yeah.
We'll see if those turncoats, those disloyal players, can do the same things they did last week. Watford are on a bit of a run as well, aren't they?
Yeah, of course they are. They're fifth in the...
I reckon Watford might beat them, you know.
Well, they might do, but I mean, they've done incredibly well. They've got 4 consecutive Premier League victories, but I don't think they'll beat Chelsea, who are reinvigorated by Gus Hiddink. 2-1 to Chelsea.
Yeah, but you see, reinvigorated against Sunderland is not the same as against... I'm going to go 2-1 Watford.
OK, fine.
Liverpool against Leicester, your mate Jurgen Klopp.
Yes. Leicester will win this 3-1.
I think Leicester will win it as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. OK, Manchester City against Sunderland. 3 o'clock Saturday.
I think that'll be a high-scoring Manchester City victory, 4-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0.
Right.
I think you can't see... I mean, Sam Allardyce should be making them slightly better than they are at the moment.
Yeah, you would. You would think so. But, you know, you can only work with the resources you have. It's limited to the improvement you can make.
True. Swansea against West Brom. Next.
Yeah, Swansea, West
It's
Brom.
kind of the one game that if it was coming on Match of the Day, you'd probably go out and make a cup of tea.
Probably. Swansea 1, West Brom 2.
I'm going to go 1-1.
I think Swansea just seem to have the kiss of death about them.
They still haven't got a manager, have they?
No.
I wonder whether that guy Bielsa's coming.
The guy who seems to be the main spokesman now is Alan, what's his name? You know, he's been there for 30 years.
Yeah, the number 2 guy.
30, yeah.
Spurs against Norwich. Norwich coming off the back of that amazing win against Manchester United.
Yeah, well...
Spurs on a bit of a roll, though.
Oh, yeah, I can't see Spurs losing at home against... Norwich took on a vulnerable Manchester United team. Tottenham 3, Norwich 1.
Yeah, I'm going 2-0 for Tottenham. Newcastle against Everton.
Yeah.
Your team.
5:30 kick-off. Newcastle 7 points out of 9 in the last 3 games. Everton not... You know, they're just not performing up to their ability.
Well, I think what's going wrong for Everton is they're not scoring enough goals, are they? They're having lots of chances, they're missing them. Lukaku's missing a lot of chances.
Conceding bad goals.
Yeah.
They are conceding bad goals from set pieces, from corners, from free kicks. It's ridiculous.
Is that because they haven't got a decent centre-half?
But they have John Stones, you see. This is the ridiculous
but he's kind of
thing
all over
about
the
it.
place, isn't he? I mean, he's not just a centre-half.
I wonder whether he's told, the Argentinian guys alongside him, Fino Barro, whatever his name is. I know his name, obviously. Newcastle 1, Everton 3.
OK, I'm going Newcastle 2, Everton 1.
Oh.
I got it right last time, didn't I? Now, Southampton-Arsenal is the last game on Saturday. We're not going to do the Monday games. We'll do those on Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to do Southampton 1, Arsenal 3, because Arsenal now have got the bit between their teeth and Southampton can't seem to work out what the problem is.
Yeah, I don't know what's gone wrong for poor old, what's his face, the Dutchman.
Yeah, Koeman.
Yeah, I'm going to go Southampton 1, Arsenal 2. OK. So, I mean, those are my predictions. I don't know. I hope I can keep them in the system.
Yes.
Because I'm not actually going to do the rest until Monday. But we shall submit all of those later on. All right. So have you got anything else to say?
No, except that it's going to be a very exciting Boxing Day. And, of course, because it's Newcastle-Everton 5:30, you will find that there will be an easing up on the bladderation trail in the Parry household.
Really?
Until after lunch on Boxing Day.
So when are you down there till then? When are you coming back from the family seat?
On Sunday morning.
Right.
In preparation for our Monday morning show.
That's right.
Mid-morning show, 10 to 1 next Monday, which is December the 28th.
It is, yeah.
And for the rest of the week, 29, 30... 31 and 1st, which takes you up to Friday, we are filling in delightfully for our very good pals, Hawksby and Jacobs.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, are you really seriously telling me that after a day of quite intense bladderation later on today, you'll probably go to bed quite late, that you'll rise late on Saturday, you won't go to the pub before the game?
Yeah, I will. And
well,
then,
you just said there won't be much drinking.
Yeah, I'll have a couple of pints, and then we'll come home and we'll have a, moderately imbibed lunch. I think we're having ham on Boxing Day.
Ham. Well, you could have had my ham.
No, that was a horrible bit of cheap stuff stuffed into a hermetically sealed plastic carton. And I don't want it, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about ham that my sister's been. Do you cure ham? I think you cure.
You do cure it. You can do.
I think she's been curing it for 3 months.
There are some things you can cure and some things you can't.
Yeah, exactly. Like
How about this one?
Your mental state.
This is done from Den in Wallington. Now, you might remember this as something you said the other night. So just in for a bladderation session with friends, and like Porky, I'm worried about my new carpet being impregnated. How do I practice safe socks? It's good, that, isn't it?
Change them when you get in. Take your socks off at the front door.
Yeah, but then surely your bare feet have to touch the carpet.
No. Take your socks off at the front door.
Yeah.
You're allowed to walk, 6 paces to the airing cupboard to get a clean pair of socks.
How do you know he's got an airing cupboard?
Well, wherever he keeps his socks. I don't know.
Why would you keep your socks in an airing cupboard?
Because they air.
Well, you keep the socks in a sock drawer.
Yeah, after they've been in the airing cupboard to air.
You keep your socks in an airing cupboard?
Yeah, I do, yeah. What's so funny about that?
What else do you keep in there?
Everything. Sheets.
Sheets?
Yeah, my undergarments.
Yeah. Shirts?
No, they go in. They go into the my walk-in wardrobe.
Okay.
Yeah. What else are you keeping there? Pillowcases, all the bedding.
But why'd you put socks in there?
Towels.
This is a linen place, isn't it?
No.
Place for linen.
Yeah, but I air my socks because I like them aired, so they go in the airing cupboard.
You like your socks aired?
Yeah. What's wrong with that? I don't understand sometimes why you find domestic arrangements so
because you're
amusing.
very weird.
No, you're very weird. Where do your socks go?
Well, I take them out of the dryer.
Yeah.
Right, and I put them in a sock drawer.
Where do you dry them?
In a tumble dryer.
No,
a tumble air dryer.
They're not properly dried.
What do you mean they're not properly dried?
When they come out, they're not properly dried.
They are.
No, there's still moisture in those socks.
No, there isn't.
And I'm telling you, they need airing, and I put them in the airing cupboard.
If you haven't got a proper tumble air dryer, then they don't dry. But mine are absolutely dry as a bone when they come out.
Mine is a very efficient one, and there's no such thing as a dry as a bone sock. If you're doing that, you're damaging the fabric of the sock.
Rubbish.
They have to come out.
What are you talking about?
With at least just maybe 5% of moisture still in them. Then they go in the airing cupboard.
Absolute
you ask anybody
rubbish.
out there who's listening to us who runs a domestic home, and they'll tell you what I've just told you is absolutely right.
Anyone who runs a domestic home?
Yes.
How about anyone that just owns a pair of socks?
Well, it's the same thing.
Les in Manchester says this. Mike and Mike, Cuba was by the Gibson brothers, as well as Ooh, What a Life.
It was by who?
The Gibson brothers.
Oh.
And as well as Que Sera Mi Vida. Don't know that one. Coming up next, by the way, it's come upon us very quickly. It's time for the Porky Quiz.
The Porky Quiz.
On the Three Wise Men.
Bring it on.
Don't phone your mother. Phone Talk Sport.
Football on DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM.
Atletico Radio.
Talk Sport.
Look who's alone now. It's not me. It's not me. Those three wise men, they've got a Sammy by the sea. Gotta ask yourself the question, where are you now? Gotta ask yourself the question, where are
This is Talk Sport. We are the two Mikes. It is Christmas Day, and bladderation is obviously well underway for an awful lot of people. Lots and lots of great Christmas messages coming in. Thank you for all of them. If we haven't answered all of them, we really do read them all, and we do an awful lot to us. Now, because it is Christmas Day, we've got a special Porky Christmas quiz. And as you asked for, requested, the quiz is on the Three Wise Men. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, as ever, we have a noise for when you get one right and when you get one wrong. If you get one right, you will hear this sound.
We worship you, O'Brien, who are Lord over us all.
That's the right one, is it?
That's the right one.
Excellent. You hear a lot of that.
If you get one wrong, you'll hear this.
That doesn't sound very wise to me.
Recognise those two clips?
The second one was definitely from Life of Brian.
Yeah, I think the first one was as well.
Oh, is it? Okay,
yeah, I think
good.
so.
Yeah, okay.
Now, are you ready for the first question?
Yes, I am.
And you've said that you know all about this because you went to Sunday school.
I went to Sunday school from the age of 4 till 10.
Right. Question number 1.
Yeah.
What were the names of the 3 wise men?
Gaspar.
Yep.
Balthazar.
Correct.
Gaspar, Balthazar, and Mechiot.
Incorrect.
No,
right.
it is.
No, it's Melchior.
Oh, come off it. Melchior.
It's Melchior.
It depends which way you pronounce it.
Melchior was the guy we spoke to. He used to play for Chelsea.
No.
Mario
no.
Melchior. He's not one of the 3 kings.
Well, you've just said the name was Melchior.
Melchior.
Or T at the end. I demand that I get that.
No, you get half a point.
No, rubbish.
You get half a point.
That's not right. That was the most difficult question I could have been asked at all, and I got it right.
It's the 3 names of the kings.
And I got the 3 names
you
right.
You got one of them wrong.
I got the last letter.
Mario Melchior is not one of the 3 kings.
The last letter of the last name, and that's an outrage. And if you don't give me a point, I'm not having any more questions.
Lampard, Drogba and Melchior were not the 3 kings.
No. I deserve the point for that.
Right, now we shall move on.
Am I getting the point?
You're getting half a point. Half a point is fine.
It's not good enough.
If there's a problem at the end, we can go to a special appeal panel, okay?
It's a damn disgrace.
Now, question number 2 involves...
You've rocked my confidence.
Question number 2 involves you listening to a piece of music,
right.
Okay?
Music.
So have a listen to this.
Right, okay.
We 3 kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we travel afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star.
Now, can you sing the next bit for us, please?
What?
Can you sing the next bit? That is a carol about the 3 kings. Very famous. And the next bit is what you might regard as the chorus. So we want you to sing it.
Can I hear the music again, please? I didn't know I'd have to be singing the next bit.
We 3 kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we travel afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star.
Lord of mercy, Lord of light, can you bring the baby tonight? What do you?
Sorry, go on. No, the tune's right. Go on.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That was the next bit.
There's 4 lines that you have to sing.
Yeah. Well, I've just sung 4.
No, you've just sung 2.
Lord of mercy, Lord of might, can you bring the baby tonight? We're all waiting. You are shaking. Is the Messiah coming tonight?
That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you half a point for that.
Right.
Because you got the tune right.
Right.
The word's hopelessly wrong.
Well,
let's have a listen to the first one again and then the second verse, please.
Okay.
Field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star.
This is a bit you should have got.
Oh, star of wonder, star of light, star with
Royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
You're telling me you don't know that?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Rubbish. Who sung that anyway?
I think that's the it's Cambridge Choral Choir or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually it's Medieval Babes. I apologise. Anyway, I'm now being told by the independent arbiters that I'm very generous giving you half a point for that because all you did was sing the same melody.
Yeah, but you should have given me a full point for the first one.
All right, so you got 1 out of 2.
Right, that balances up.
All right, question number 3.
Yeah.
The 3 wise men brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Yes.
What is myrrh?
Myrrh?
Yeah.
Well, gold
and it's not
is
anything
like
to do with Peter Sellers.
Gold-coloured stuff. Frankincense.
I didn't ask you about that.
Frankincense is like a thing that you wave around in a silver cup. A myrrh. Sorry, what?
Thing that you wave around in a silver cup.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and you see the Russian Orthodox Church.
Yeah.
And a shake.
Well, the Catholics do it as well.
Thing, yeah. And the myrrh is. It's like. It's like.
No, do you?
Yes, I do. It's like a sort of brandy butter type thing. Okay. But it's not brandy butter, obviously. It didn't have brandy butter in those days. But that's what it is. It's a nutrient for the baby.
Incorrect.
That doesn't sound very wise to me.
No, it's not. It's aromatic resin from
that's...
the Commiphora tree.
Yes.
Used as a perfume.
Yes.
And medicine.
That's what I said.
That's not what you said.
I did. I said it's like brandy butter.
It's not what you said. No, you like brandy butter.
It looks like brandy
rub
butter.
brandy butter on children.
I've seen some. It looks like brandy butter.
0. 1 out of 3.
This is rubbish.
Question number 4.
Yeah.
What has been the most common theory as to what the Star of Bethlehem could have been?
The most common theory... I'm not sure there is a most common theory. There are several theories. There are several
but there is a most common one.
First of all, it's now known as the Star of Bethlehem ever since the three wise men followed it from the east, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it depends which way you're looking at it, I suppose.
No. If you come from the east, it's Star of Bethlehem. It is thought most popularly that it was a shooting star meteorite.
Incorrect.
No!
It was thought to be Halley's Comet.
No, it wasn't.
It was. Yes, it was.
Halley's Comet moves too quick.
No, it was thought to have been Halley's Comet.
I don't think it was.
What do you mean Halley's Comet? Have you ever seen Halley's Comet?
Yes.
When you see Halley's Comet in the sky, it doesn't look like it's moving at all.
Yeah, it moves very fast.
Yeah, it does in reality, but not when you look at it.
I think you made that one up.
Question number 5.
I'm losing confidence.
Number 5.
Yes.
In which 1959 epic film is Balthazar played by English actor Finlay Curry?
Finlay who?
Finlay Curry.
Doesn't sound very English to me. Sounds Scottish.
Well, maybe it's not his real name.
Finlay.
Maybe he changed it because he wanted to alphabetise it back to C.
Finlay
His
Curry.
real name was Finlay Zimmerman.
Right, OK. I reckon that was in a film called... Not that this is relevant to the three wise men, of course. This is another Hollywood question.
Well, it's Balthazar.
Excuse me. I reckon it was either The Birth of Jesus or The Greatest Story Ever Told.
Incorrect.
That doesn't sound very wise.
Well, hang on. I haven't given you the answer. I was thinking aloud.
Well, you didn't say you were thinking aloud.
I was thinking aloud. I don't have to say I was thinking aloud.
You didn't say.
I have not yet given you an answer.
All right. Well.
Right. So it got.
Well, hurry up then, because we're running out of time.
I was going to discontinue both of those ideas.
All right.
I think it was something like the baby Jesus.
Incorrect.
That doesn't sound very wise.
It was Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur.
Yeah, Balthazar's in Ben-Hur. You should know that.
I don't know if Balthazar was into chariot racing as well as being a wise man on a camel.
Well, you never know.
Make his mind up what he wanted to do.
Now,
God.
Question number 6. Can you? Now you're a poetry expert, aren't you? Can you identify the author of this poem, which is called "The Journey of the Magi"? Right. I'm going to read you some of it.
Okay.
A cold coming we had of it, just the worst time of the year for a journey, and such a long journey. The ways deep and the weather sharp, the very dead of winter, and the camels galled, sore-footed, refractory, lying down in the melting snow.
Yeah, I know this.
There were times we regretted. The summer palaces on slopes, the terraces, and the silken girls bringing sherbet.
That was Alfred Lord Tennyson.
Incorrect.
No!
T.S. Eliot.
T.S. Eliot.
Written in 1927.
I studied T.S. Eliot, The Wasteland.
Really?
I can show you fear in a handful of dust.
Yeah, well, you didn't study it very well, did you? Question number 7. Which Christian holy day observes the visit of the Magi?
The Epiphany.
Correct.
Thank you.
That's 2 out of 7. Question number 8. Yeah. Where are the bones of the three wise men said to be contained?
Interestanto. And I'll tell you why I know.
That's not where they are.
No, you idiot. I'll tell you why, because we did the 2006 World Cup there. Cologne Cathedral.
Correct.
Thank you.
Although there are some who say there is a tomb elsewhere in the world where they are, somewhere in Persia.
Largely thought to be in Cologne Cathedral. I went and looked at Cologne Cathedral.
Did you?
It's a magnificent building, and the only building that wasn't...
It's a beautiful spire, isn't it?
It's a double spire.
Yeah,
it's a double spire.
Yeah.
And it was the only building that wasn't bombed to hell by the RAF.
Yeah.
Amazingly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
A bit like St Paul's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Question number 9. Where were the three wise men said to be from?
They were said to be the kings of Persia, Iran and India. Yes.
Not quite. I'll give you half a point for that.
No.
I'll give you half a point
No.
for that.
Well, what are you saying it is?
Well, it's basically Turkey, Arabia and Ethiopia.
Yeah, but that
India is not thought to be the case.
Persia is...
and Arabia. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm giving you basically half a point for that.
Yeah.
I'll give you half a point.
Yeah, I deserve more than that.
That gives you what, 1, 2, 3.5 so far. So question number 10.
Yes.
To see if you can make 4.5.
Yes.
What was the name of the king the three wise men had to avoid after visiting Jesus?
Oh, that was the wicked King Herod.
Correct.
Hey! Woo! This is fantastic.
Now,
I've got 50%.
No, you didn't. You got 4.5.
Rubbish. I got 5 because the first one I got right.
No, you didn't. But because of the fact that I was too generous in the earlier stages of the quiz, it's going to be rounded down to 4 out of 10.
Oh, rubbish.
It's 4 out of 10. because I only gave you half a point because I thought you would. I mean, you should never have got any points at all for singing the same song without getting the words right.
Well, you gave me half a point. That boosted my confidence. Now you've sapped my confidence again.
Yeah, well, I've given you 4 out of 10.
Damn cheat.
4 out of 10 on the 3 wise men.
Rubbish.
I suppose if you got 3 out of 10, that would have been more normal, wouldn't it?
No.
3 wise men, 3 kings.
No.
3 out of 10.
Yeah, damn cheat you are.
We took the all-new Mitsubishi L200 Series 5 across the globe for 18 days and 4,267 miles. We conquered the Sahara Desert and the Atlas Mountains to show the world the most manoeuvrable, economic, efficient, safest and capable pickup we've ever made. The Mitsubishi L200 Series 5, showing the world how it's done. Search Mitsubishi L200 and test the best.
The Vodafone winter sale is now on. Treat yourself to great savings on phones, tablets and accessories, including big brands like Sony, Beats and Samsung. See in store or search Vodafone winter sale. Vodafone. Power to you.
Sale ends 1st of February 2016. Selected items only. Terms at vodafone.co.uk/winter sale.
If you fancy a flutter on the football, a gamble on the golf, a double on the darts, or a treble on the tennis, you're in luck. Get closer to the action every weekend with Betway's Man in the Know on the Weekend Sports Breakfast with Georgie Bingham and Mickey Quinn. Bringing you all the form on the football, the going at Goodwood, the tries at Twickenham and the overs at the Oval. Every Saturday and Sunday morning from 7 on TalkSport with Betway. Bet now at betway.com.
Talk Sport, the radio station that's looking forward to a traditional family Christmas this year. Slamming doors, screaming kids, the silent, resentful drive to visit the in-laws.
Please turn around when possible.
Classic. Merry Christmas. Talk Sport.
Glory, vanguard of the free.
Are you sure those are the right words?
Make us mightier and mightier.
Hang on, why are you singing this?
To me.
Excuse me.
Sorry,
why are you singing this?
Because it's about time I gave the equivalent of the Queen's speech.
Oh, yes. Yes, we're going to do this,
terms.
All right,
yes.
well, shouldn't I introduce it, though, first?
You introduce it. Go on, you do that. I mean, you're irrelevant when it comes to this sort of thing because you don't have the ideas that I have.
No, it's not irrelevant.
But I will allow you to introduce it.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Well, here we are at Christmas 2015.
Yeah.
It's been a remarkable year in many ways for the people of the world, for the listeners of TalkSport, and for Mike Porky Parry, who is, of course, the seeker of truth and justice. Now, just as the cheerleaders are getting underway at the Oakland-San Diego game...
Like anybody cares.
Here is Mr. Mike Parry's Christmas message.
Open
You're not going to sing it, are you?
No, then God of the free. Thank you. 2016 has been a good year. But 2015 has been a good year. We haven't reached 2016 yet, sorry. 2015 has been a good year. We must make 2016 an even better year. How do we make it a better year? By delivering the following policies to improve our great, great nation, to make our mighty nation mightier still. We must build more motorways, and we must up the speed limit from 70 miles an hour to 90 miles an hour, so that magnificent cars like new Mercedes 2-door, 3.5-litre engine vehicles...
I thought you said you were doing 110 the other day.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
Will be able to improve the economy by a whole 1% by making vehicles move around this country faster. The second policy also relates to transport. We must cancel the HS2, High Speed 2 train project, which is going to cost £28 billion because it's a waste of time and money. It's a shocking policy. The Prime Minister, Mr. David Cameron, will be advised of this and my views on it very shortly. My third policy is also on transport. We must immediately scrap and knock down about 3 towns south of Heathrow Airport and build a third runway. we must not put up
Why
with
is
any...
this all about transport and you? Why is this all about you?
We must not put up with any moaning or whinging from the people who live in the towns near Heathrow Airport. The future of this country, a third runway to connect us with the developing Far East, is far more important than the miserable lives of a few moaning, whinging individuals who live in Sussex. Sussex is a good county.
To be goodwill to all men.
There are plenty of other places you can live.
I thought this was meant to be about goodwill to all men.
The next policy, fewer vegetarians. We must scrub. We must scrub the idea of vegetarianism. It is, in my view, a devil-worshipping type of following. It doesn't do you any good. Particularly when you make your dog a vegetarian. Your dogs don't want to be vegetarians, neither do your cats. So give up vegetarianism yourself. The next policy is a football tax. There is now so much money being sucked into the world of football, and I mean billions of pounds, that it's going to destabilise the economy. In much the same way as the Middle East closed down the world economy in the 70s by sucking so much money in for their oil, the economy in this country is going to be closed down by the amount of money going into football. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to introduce a 5% tax on all footballers' earnings over and above what they pay now and redistribute that amongst the poor.
Now, that is a good idea.
Well, they're all good ideas.
No, they're not all good ideas, but that one I like. Is there much more of this, by the way?
There is.
The show's nearly over.
Yes, there is. My next policy is we must double defence spending. It's no good cutting defence spending if the world is getting more dangerous. The world is a more dangerous place, and we must double the number of ships in the Navy, double the number of planes in the RAF,
4?
double the number of soldiers on the ground, and we must go for it. And the sixth policy is that we
Is this the last one?
We should...
Is this the last one?
This is the last one.
Thank God.
We must pull down the remains of Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall is a symbol of bitterness between the Scots and the English, between the Scottish nation and the English nation. We are one nation.
Hadrian Durham.
We are going to take every last block of Hadrian's Wall and dump it into the sea somewhere off Cumbria to provide a flood defence against any further flooding of that glorious part of this country. I commend this speech to TalkSport.
Very well done. And if that doesn't set people up for Christmas, I don't know what.
Exactly.
First impressions from Becky says, hashtag Porky Speech. 2016 has been a good year.
Yes.
Great start from the man of the people. Does he
Thank
know
you.
what 2017 will be like?
Yeah, well, exactly. I'll try and fix that one up this time next
Now,
year.
not to put a dampener on the proceedings after such a stirring kind of, resolution, as it were. And we'll be doing New Year resolutions next week, of course.
Do you think I maybe should have done that on the day of the last day of this year, like Thursday the 31st?
No, because the Christmas message is the Christmas message.
That's true. The Queen's speech is Christmas.
When we're on New Year's Eve, between 1 and 4 in the afternoon, I suspect you may be asked for some New Year's resolutions. And if you wish,
well, that's true.
And if you wish, either then or on New Year's Day, then you can make another proclamation about what should happen in 2016. As long as it's not the same.
Good thinking.
Yeah,
good thinking, Batman.
Now, what I don't want to do is upset anybody who's out there trying to get around, but I understand that there was a few problems at the airports yesterday, not least with planes not being able to take off and land. There was some weather-related difficulties. There were certainly some problems with some long-haul flights.
Oh, my God.
Listen to this, right? Yeah. This is what's going to happen over the next few days if you're trying to get around this country, right?
It's a disgrace.
Hundreds of journeys, this is from yesterday.
It's a disgrace.
Hundreds of journeys home for Christmas were hit by signalling problems, flooding on tracks, and a failure for trains to run because of lack of staff.
It's just a damn... How can you have a lack of staff? Well, in this country, 5 million people have come to this country in the last 10 years. If we're going to integrate them into our society and make them, responsible to the well-being of our society... Why are we short of labour? I just don't get it.
Angry travellers, including Duncan Bannatyne, right, were delayed at King's Cross trying to get to Scotland, right?
Yes.
He asked on Twitter if he could transfer to an earlier train, which had also been delayed.
Yes.
And when he was told by Virgin Trains employer it would not be possible, he disagreed and he said, if two trains are, say, in a station and the doors are open, can't passengers walk from one train to the other and just get on the other train?
Yeah.
But they weren't allowed to do it.
That's a disgrace.
Closed lines, right, include Heathrow Express, stretch of the West Coast Main Line, which is closed basically already until next week.
Yep.
We've already heard that all the Gatwick Express trains are going to be out of order. The trains coming in and out of London Bridge, Waterloo East, and what's the other one? Charing Cross.
Yes.
Not happening. You're going to have to take a bus. Other closed lines include part of the Great Western Line from Paddington, routes in Essex, routes in Lincolnshire. National Rail workers carrying...
This is just a tale of misery.
Yeah, they're carrying out 500 projects over Christmas, and the unions are describing it as a blast of chaos for passengers.
Misery.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. It's terrible, isn't
Liverpool Street to East Anglia, right?
Yeah.
The line to Ipswich, Norwich, Cambridge and Ely closed between Colchester and Marks Tay on December the 7th to the 28th, replacement buses.
Absolutely
Southend,
disgraceful.
Victoria and Southminster line closed, bus replacements December 27th, 28th. No services from London Bridge for 10 days to Kent.
That's disgraceful.
West Coast Main Line, Stafford to Crewe. I mean, obviously, that's part of the unfortunate flooding.
Why does the country grind to a halt over Christmas?
Well, I wonder why.
I mean, do
wonder.
You know, do we now have this old-fashioned view that, we'll close down the country over Christmas because the country closes down? No, it doesn't.
Well,
we're an active, hard-working, industrious country.
Right? You get apologists saying, well, it's the quietest time of the year for the railways, so they have to do it then.
Rubbish.
And the point is, well, actually, that's not true. There are many more Sundays which are quieter.
Of course there are.
And you also, what tells you that you have to do Heathrow and Gatwick at the same time?
People like getting around over the Christmas and New Year period to see families, to see friends, to take a very hard-earned break, and it's a disgrace, an utter disgrace. The other disgrace is that we're now being made to fill in tax forms 4 times a year. That's an utter disgrace.
I don't know why you keep going on about that.
Well, I'm telling you, that's red tape personified, and if you've got a government that calls itself Conservative, that means help the individual to stand on his own 2 feet, help the small trader, help the small businessman, help those who want to create wealth in this country and add to the nation's well-being. And I'm afraid all you're doing when you're asking somebody to fill in a tax form 4 times a year is you are doing completely the opposite.
Yeah.
It's a damn disgrace.
Well,
where's the leadership in this country?
Well,
I want a real leader.
Yeah, well, stop complaining about it and just stand for office. Right?
Well, I haven't
That's
got
what
time
you should
now.
do.
I could have done it years ago.
Simon in Sheffield says this: the Porky Quiz, 3 wise men, not even 1 wise man. Isn't that good? Now, here's one from Lord Rallo, who says, well, after listening to the Porky speech, I have to admit, old MG is right. The Porkmeister is a madman.
No. Even you said that my policy on football was a brilliant one.
Madman, yeah. I should have read it. Now, Liz says this. That was, dare one say, a pathetic quiz score, all things considered, for a regular churchgoer.
No, not at all.
You say you're a regular churchgoer.
Yes, but that quiz was about theology. It wasn't about religion. It was theology. It was historical, religious
Well, you said that
matters.
you studied all of these things when you went to Sunday school.
I did, but
from a young age.
That was 30-plus years ago.
30?
Yes.
Well, you're only 40 now.
No, 30-plus years ago, I said.
30 plus 30?
Could be plus a lot.
Could be a lot.
But it was 30-plus.
And Rishi is a nice one, right? Rishi says this, the two might should be incredibly proud of their contributions to radio and wider.
That's very kind of you. What's the wider issues we contribute to?
Don't know.
The well-being of the
country. How about
country?
this one? From somebody who doesn't give a name, unfortunately.
Right.
Pleased I'm not a vegetarian footballer living south of Heathrow. Defence is a good idea, though. Sweden's armed forces are larger than ours, even though their population is less than 10 million.
It's unbelievable, isn't
They
it?
have national service, I think, there.
I think they still do, actually.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should start that kind of campaign.
No, national service would be a disaster. Do you know why? Because the limited resources we've got now for the Army, the Navy and the Air Force, you'd have to take a third of them to train up people for 2 years to come up to their level. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, well, still be better than nothing, though, wouldn't it?
No, it's a disaster, because what I'm saying is the limited amount of men we've got to go to war at the moment, because politicians, because of their ego, like to fight wars, we'd have even less men going to war, because half of them have to stay at home and train the new recruits.
Yeah, true.
You know, who were coming in on national service. Waste of time.
Yeah, how about this one from someone who doesn't give a name?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Richard, sorry. He says, Porky would fit like a glove with his Christmas cheer in North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea. Do you mean in Pyongyang?
Pyongyang. You know, funnily enough, somebody tweeted me earlier because we were on the Santa tracker.
Right, okay.
Sometime this
afternoon. Is
afternoon.
it going over Pyongyang?
He was in Pyongyang.
He's in Pyongyang?
I don't think there's a lot of Christmas cheer there.
What flavour of tree was he eating on the bar?
I don't know whether he was, I have to say.
Yeah.
And here's one from Adam. Do you remember this guy? He was so tall that we met at one of the shows. He actually makes me look like a very, very small person.
God, he does make you look like a midget. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to avoid saying that.
And he sent us the picture.
And that was him with you because you stood on a step so that you were taller than him.
No, he kneeled down, didn't he? Oh, yeah, I stood on a step. That's right.
No, he was in Portsmouth. He was in Portsmouth.
Oh, Portsmouth. Right, very nice to see you. And we're going to see a lot more of you this coming year, by the way, in the old on the old live road.
Yeah, we're underway, aren't we, with a few plans?
So far, we can confirm that
we don't want to give any dates out yet.
No, we're going to give dates. We can confirm we're coming to Manchester and we're coming to the northeast. Now, when I say the northeast, probably not Newcastle city centre itself, but a very, very popular town in the northeast, not very far away from Newcastle. Head down the Tyne.
Hey?
Is that right? Head down the Tyne.
Head down the Tyne.
Yeah.
Well, you're the expert. You used to work up there.
Yeah. But
Can we also make sure this
giving
time
clues
that if you go and do an interview to sort of pre-publicise the event
with the Newcastle Evening Chronicle, the paper I used to work on, and used to star on,
that
as
you
top
actually
reporter.
do manage to mention the two mics as opposed to just you.
Well, I mean,
because the last time you went up there, right?
Yeah.
And you gave them an interview.
Yes.
They ran this headline about how you wanted to retire to the northeast.
Yes, that's right.
And there's this whole piece about you.
Yes, it was.
The picture of you outside a football stadium.
Well,
and a tiny mention at the end.
Yeah.
The two mics are performing at the Tyne Opera House and Theatre.
Yeah, but Mike, they're
at the end of the week.
They're professional journalists, and they made up their mind which bit of what I told them
professional
was important.
journalists. You sure?
Yes, very sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's one from Michael. He says, "Ha ha, Porky is size 34. Does someone else buy his trousers and keep the truth a secret?"
Ha ha ha! Very funny. Right, we've only got seconds to go in the show.
Yeah.
So I
have to tell everybody that it's 17-12 to San Diego over Oakland right now. Fourth quarter, about 13 minutes left.
Believe me, nobody cares. Right, two things. Firstly, Mike, I want to officially wish you a very, very happy Christmas.
Thank you very much.
To yourself, to your family, to your two little boys, to your delightful daughter, Emma. Hope you have a brilliant day.
Thank you.
Brilliant couple of days till I see you again on Monday of next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Indeed.
Take it easy on Sundays. I don't want you to be in anything other than top form.
Yeah.
When we arrange to meet up, it'll be about 8 o'clock, I guess we'll be in tomorrow on Monday, won't we? The show starts at 10.
Yes. 8, yeah,
I'll be
between
able
8
to be
and
in
9.
at 8.
Between 8 and 9.
Between 8 and 9?
Between 8 and 9, yeah, because...
loads of football on, of course.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. And the second thing is that there won't be a podcast, I'm afraid, until Boxing Day, but that's a very good reason to catch up on Two Mics TV, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely right. You can
and the top two features there.
Go and look for the Snowball fight, which we will retweet out on Twitter, the Two Mics, but also Padre Parry, who gave a very nice festive message the other night.
Carol.
Some people may not have seen it. We'll put it out. We'll put it out on Two Mics television and also on Facebook as well.
Yeah, Two Mics TV on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Have a great weekend. A Merry Christmas to you, may I say, and to your family.
Yes.
Even though they're all snobs. And we'll be back on Monday at 10 a.m. Right here on Talk Sport.
If you love the Two Mics podcast, you'll love the live show. Weekday overnights from 1am on DAB Digital Radio and 1089 and 1053 AM and via the TalkSport app. TalkSport, your Premier League station with exclusive commentaries every weekend.
What an absolute corker!
TalkSport.
A cold coming we had of it, just the worst time of the year. For a journey and such a long journey, the waves deep and the weather sharp,
the very dead of winter. And the camels cold, sore-footed, refractory, lying down in the melting snow. There were times we regretted the summer palaces on slopes, the terraces and the silken girls bringing sherbet. Then the camel men cursing and grumbling and running away and wanting their liquor and women and the night fires going out and the lack of shelters and the cities hostile and the towns unfriendly and the villages dirty and charging high prices. A hard time we had of it. At the end we preferred to travel all night sleeping in snatches with the voices singing in our ears saying that this was all folly.
look at the light!